got some real estate here in my life. Ooh. So we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner's pies, and we walked off to look for America. Kathy, I said as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh, Michigan seems like a dream to me now. It took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I'd gone to look for America. Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie is really on camera. Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. You smoked the last one an hour ago. Ooh. So we looked out at the scenery. She read her magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all gone to look for America. All gone to look for so late.
We live in a world of modern convenience, a world that has conditioned us to believe a single, comfortable truth, that progress is a straight line leading directly to us. We assume that our air-conditioned existence is the pinnacle, and that the ways of our ancestors were primitive, crude, and inefficient. For millennia, nomadic peoples like the Berbers and the Bedouins have faced a far more unforgiving world with something fundamentally more reliable than our fragile systems. They didn't depend on disposable solutions. They relied on three pillars: ingenious design, a deep understanding of their environment, and the proficiency of their own bodies. Today, we're exploring the secrets of their survival. We're heading into the furnace to see if their ancient hacks are just legends, or if they represent a timeless technology, a forgotten science that could save your life when the world turns to dust and fire. The unforgiving classroom. Our journey begins with the challenge of a seemingly impossible environment. The desert does not care about you. It is a vast engine of heat and desolation, and its first weapon is psychological. It aims to induce panic and cloud your judgment, making you your own worst enemy. But before we can test the nomad solutions, we have to understand the forces they were designed to overcome. In the desert, the enemy has three faces: dehydration, hypothermia, and disorientation, a trinity of threats that work in concert. First, dehydration. This is the most relentless danger. In extreme heat, you can lose over a litre of water an hour through sweat that evaporates so fast you might not even notice it. This is why the common myth of rationing water is so incredibly dangerous. Experts agree, it weakens you, impairs your judgment, and makes you less capable of saving yourself. This isn't just an improvement in thinking, it's a complete change in the philosophy of survival. Next, hypothermia, or heat stroke. This is what happens when your body's internal cooling system fails. When you can no longer produce sweat, your core temperature can rise to catastrophic levels above 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius. This is a full-blown medical emergency that can lead to organ failure and death. It's a swift and brutal end. Finally, disorientation. The desert is a landscape of profound monotony. Every dune looks like the last. Panic sets in, you walk in circles, and you exhaust your precious energy and water. This is the battlefield, a place where modern intuition is almost always wrong. Take off clothes to cool down, a fatal mistake. Suck water from a cactus, a myth that will likely make you sick. We need a different playbook, one written not in a classroom but in the sand. It's time to test the first secret, the paradox of desert dress. Our first test challenges a core modern instinct. When it's hot, wear less. But the Bedouin and Berber nomads do the opposite. They cover themselves from head to toe in long, flowing robes, often in dark colors. It seems completely counterintuitive. This is where we have to unlearn what we think we know. I'm starting in typical hot weather gear, shorts and a t-shirt, and the sun feels like it's cooking my skin. Now I'm switching to the nomad approach, a long, loose-fitting dark robe and a head covering. The change is instantaneous. The direct, painful sting of the sun is gone. I'm no longer being baked by solar radiation. This is where the genius of the design becomes apparent. A 1980 study in the journal Nature investigated this exact question. What the scientists found was remarkable. While a black robe does absorb more heat on its outer surface, that heat is lost before it reaches the skin. The key is that the robes are worn loose. This creates a space between the fabric and the body. As your body heats the air in this space, it rises, creating a convection current. Hot air flows up and out, while cooler air is drawn in from below. As you walk, the flowing fabric creates a bellows action, actively pumping air through this space. The effect is that you are creating your own personal microclimate. It's a system that enhances your body's primary cooling mechanism, the evaporation of sweat. Exposed skin is a liability. It's bombarded by direct solar radiation, forcing your body to work harder. Here, the clothing acts as a shield. And the color? The study found that the amount of heat gained by the person was ultimately the same whether they wore a black or a white robe. The powerful convective cooling created by the loose fit is far more important than the color. After just an hour, the difference is undeniable. This isn't just clothing, it's a piece of survival technology perfected over generations. Building a breathable fortress. From personal cooling engines, we move to shelters that command the elements themselves. When the sun is at its peak, all experts, ancient and modern, agree. You find shade and you do not move. But a modern tent, designed to seal you from the elements, becomes an oven in the desert. The principle of a desert shelter is not insulation, but ventilation. Nomadic tents, often made of dark goat hair, are designed to be airy, with open sides to catch any breeze. The dark fabric heats up, creating another convection current that pulls cooler air from the ground up and out through the top. To test this, I'm building two shelters. The first is a modern concept, a low, enclosed tarp. The second is based on the nomad principle, a higher tarp with open sides. The difference is staggering. The enclosed shelter is a suffocating heat trap, but the nomad-inspired design is a game changer. It provides shade while allowing constant airflow. The ground underneath is significantly cooler, and the breeze carries away the heat radiating from the tarp. It's an intelligent multiplication of a simple breeze. This is a breathable fortress against the sun, and it works. The hot tea anomaly. All right, this next hack is perhaps the most paradoxical. What is the last thing you'd want on a scorching day? A steaming cup of hot tea. Yet across the world's deserts, it is a cornerstone of survival. But here's where the story gets truly fascinating. Researchers at the University of Ottawa confirmed what desert peoples have known for eons. In dry conditions, a hot drink can cool you down more effectively than a cold one. The mechanism is brilliantly simple. When you drink a hot beverage, thermoreceptors in your stomach signal your brain that it's hot. Your brain responds by dramatically increasing your sweat production. In a dry desert, all that extra sweat evaporates very quickly, creating a massive net loss of body heat. You are essentially kickstarting your body's natural air conditioner into overdrive. An ice-cold drink does the opposite. It provides momentary relief, but it tells your brain to slow sweat production, shutting down your most effective cooling system when you need it most. Of course, this requires you to be hydrated enough to produce the sweat, but as a tool for thermal balance, it is ingenious. The tea is also often sweet for energy, and boiling the water ensures it's safe to drink. Testing it myself, the effect is noticeable. It's a strange sensation, but the science and the tradition don't lie. They weren't just drinking tea, they were biohacking. A desert diet. From hydration, we move to fuel. Your body is an engine, and under extreme stress, it needs the right kind. A heavy meal of steak and potatoes, our modern idea of energy, can be a liability here. Digestion requires significant energy and water, putting additional strain on a system already working overtime to stay cool. This is why the traditional Bedouin diet is light: dates, nuts, dried fruits, barley, and yogurt. But there's another fascinating component: salt. We're told salt makes you thirsty. However, when you're sweating profusely, you're losing critical electrolytes, especially sodium. This can lead to a dangerous condition called hyponatremia and impair your body's ability to even use the water you drink. By consuming a saltier diet, desert nomads are constantly replenishing these minerals. Their diet is a carefully balanced system for resource management. The timing of meals was precisely calculated for desert conditions. The main meal was consumed 2 hours before dawn, early enough to complete digestion before the heat peaked, but late enough to provide sustained energy through the morning travel. A smaller meal was taken during the midday rest, consisting only of easily digestible items like dates and nuts. Specific food combinations were designed for optimal nutrition absorption. Dates were always eaten with nuts to balance the sugars with proteins and fats. Salty cheese was consumed with flatbread to slow absorption and maintain electrolyte balance. They never mixed dairy with acidic foods during extreme heat, as this could cause digestive problems when water was scarce. Emergency food identification included recognizing edible desert plants during different seasons. The inner pulp of barrel cacti could provide emergency moisture, while certain desert grasses could be ground into flour when traditional grains were unavailable. However, they emphasized that these emergency foods required specific preparation methods to avoid illness when the body was already stressed by heat and dehydration. Trying this myself, sticking to dates, nuts, and flatbread with salty cheese, the difference is profound. I feel light, with sustained energy, not lethargic. The salty cheese doesn't make me desperately thirsty. It seems to help my body hold on to the water I drink. This isn't about feasting, it's about fueling the survival engine with maximum efficiency. The water divination mastery. But food was only one part of the survival equation. The next challenge was even more critical: finding the water that would keep you alive. The most crucial survival skill wasn't just managing water, it was knowing where to look for it. Bedouins had developed what seemed like supernatural abilities to locate water sources, but it was actually a systematic science passed down through generations. This wasn't guesswork or desert magic, it was environmental literacy at its finest. The Bedouins understood that the desert, despite its harsh appearance, holds clues to water sources that are invisible to the untrained eye. The first technique was vegetation reading. As one Bedouin guide explained, green in the brown tells the story. Willows, cottonwoods, and sycamores don't just randomly appear in the desert. These trees signal underground water within 3 to 10 feet of the surface. Even small patches of unusually green vegetation in depressions indicate water below the surface. But the real mastery was in well construction. Traditional Bedouin wells were engineering marvels built entirely by hand. Using nothing but primitive tools, a single man would dig a well 3 to 10 meters deep, a process that took an average of 4 to 5 months, but they knew exactly where to dig. The technique was methodical. First, they'd look for the convergence of animal tracks, especially in the early morning when animals moved toward water sources. Then, they'd examine the terrain for subtle depressions where rainwater would naturally collect and seep into the ground. The digging process itself was an art form. They'd excavate until hitting wet sand, then carefully assess what lay beneath. If they found a dry layer underneath the wet sand, that was a warning sign. The water had already drained to lower ground or evaporated. In that case, they'd abandon that site and dig again in a lower-lying location. But here's what made this system truly brilliant. They weren't just finding water, they were creating a network. Every well was named after the man who dug it, and their locations were memorized and passed down through generations. These wells became waypoints, like ancient gas stations that enabled long-distance desert travel. The Bedouins also developed sophisticated water quality assessment techniques using their sensors. Clear, odorless water from deep wells was preferred, but they could also identify mineral content by taste and determine safety by observing how animals reacted to different sources. For storage, they used specially prepared goatskin vessels called kubaba. These weren't just containers, they were designed to keep water cool through evaporative cooling while being completely portable. The goatskin would be cured with specific tannins that prevented bacterial growth while allowing just enough moisture to evaporate through the skin to create a cooling effect. Navigation without stars. With water secured, the next survival priority was navigation, but not the way you might think. While many assume Bedouins used stars for navigation, the reality was far more sophisticated. Most navigation actually happened during daylight, using an intricate system of environmental reading that modern GPS can't replicate. The Bedouins had essentially turned the entire desert into a massive compass. Their primary navigation tool wasn't celestial, it was geological. Sand dunes, shaped by prevailing winds, became their directional indicators. Barchan dunes, the crescent-shaped formations common in many deserts, have their horns pointing away from the prevailing wind direction. Since winds in most desert regions blow predominantly from east to west, these dune formations create natural compass roses across the landscape. But reading the dunes required understanding wind patterns at a sophisticated level. The Bedouins distinguished between prevailing winds, which consistently shaped the landscape over time, and temporary weather patterns. They could tell the difference by examining how sand accumulated around rocks and vegetation. Different wind patterns left different signatures. When stars were used, the technique was precise and systematic. According to historical accounts, a Bedouin guide would position himself so that Polaris, the North Star, was behind his right ear. He would then sight a star to the south in that line and march for exactly 5 minutes with his eye fixed on that star. Since stars move across the sky, he would then turn and make a new observation of Polaris, select a new guidance star, and continue. This created a zigzag pattern that maintained an overall straight course. During sandstorms, or when visibility was limited, the Bedouins used an ingenious system of stone markers called rojams. These weren't random cairns. They were strategically placed so that you could see one rojam from the next, creating navigational chains through difficult terrain. The best navigators would memorize these rojam sequences across hundreds of miles of desert. But perhaps most impressive was their use of distant landmarks in geometric relationships. In places like Wadi Rum, Bedouin guides would navigate using the principle of 2 doors under the pyramid. They would identify a distant pyramid-shaped mountain and a rock formation that looked like 2 doors carved into a cliff. As long as the 2 doors remained centered under the pyramid, they were on the correct heading. If the doors shifted to either side, they knew to adjust their path. This wasn't just navigation, it was spatial geometry applied to survival. The Bedouins had essentially created a 3-dimensional coordinate system using natural landmarks, allowing them to maintain precise courses across seemingly. The food preservation mastery. Navigation was useless without sustainable nutrition, and this led to perhaps the most ingenious aspect of Bedouin survival: food preservation without refrigeration. These techniques were so effective that families could maintain nutrition for months of desert travel, creating a mobile food security system that would make modern preppers envious. The cornerstone of their food preservation was the yogurt ball technique. This process began with fresh camel or goat milk mixed with yogurt starter, what we'd now call probiotics. Once the yogurt formed, the liquid whey was carefully removed, and the remaining thick yogurt was mixed with salt for preservation. The mixture was then formed into small tennis ball-sized spheres. These yogurt balls were then placed on clean cloths and sun-dried until they reached a hard, almost stone-like consistency. The desert sun and low humidity created perfect dehydration conditions. Once fully dried, these balls could be stored for up to a year without any refrigeration, providing a concentrated source of protein, fats, and probiotics that could be reconstituted with water when needed. But the Bedouins didn't stop there. They developed semen CHIA, a specialized herb butter that combined preservation with flavor enhancement. Fresh butter from goat milk was mixed with carefully selected dried desert herbs that the women collected during seasonal migrations. These herbs weren't chosen randomly. They had antimicrobial properties that helped preserve the butter while adding distinctive flavors that masked the taste of preserved foods. The cheese-making process was equally sophisticated. Thick yogurt would be laid out on large trays and placed on tent roofs to dry in the intense desert sun. This created chunks of hard, aged cheese with a texture similar to what we now call Istanbuli cheese. The cheese had a strong, salty taste, but incredible keeping power. When needed, it could be rehydrated and used in traditional dishes like feta. Perhaps most impressive was their underground cooking technique called zarb. This wasn't just a cooking method, it was a food preservation system. A deep pit would be dug in the sand and lined with rocks, heated in a fire for hours. Large covered pots containing meat and vegetables would be buried in this pit, where the consistent underground temperature would slowly cook the food over many hours. This low, slow cooking process not only made tough desert game tender, but also created natural preservation through thorough heat treatment and moisture retention. The beauty of zarb was that it required no fuel during the cooking process. It required no fuel during the cooking process and produced perfectly preserved food that could last several days in the desert heat. The sealed environment prevented contamination while the extended cooking time eliminated harmful bacteria. The camel milk science. Beyond preserved foods, the Bedouins had discovered something that modern nutritional science is only now beginning to understand: camel milk as a complete survival system. This wasn't just sustenance. Bedouins could survive for weeks on camel milk alone because of its extraordinary nutritional profile. What makes camel milk remarkable isn't just its nutritional density, but its unique composition. Modern analysis shows that camel milk contains 3 times more vitamin C than cow's milk, high levels of immunoglobulins that boost the immune system, and insulin-like proteins that help regulate blood sugar. It also contains natural antibacterial and antiviral compounds. Essentially, it's a liquid medicine cabinet. The Bedouins understood this intuitively. They knew that camels could produce 4 to 5 liters of milk daily for up to 11 months, even while nursing their young. More incredibly, camels continue producing milk even when going 21 days without water, surviving on low-quality desert fodder that would kill other livestock. The milking process was both an art and a science. Female camels were milked twice daily, morning and evening, using specific techniques that maximized production while maintaining the animal's health. The Bedouins could assess milk quality immediately through taste and appearance. They knew that milk flavor changed based on the camel's diet. If she ate desert herbs, the milk would be salty, but if she ate barley, the milk would be sweet. This knowledge allowed them to manage their herds strategically. During certain seasons, they would guide camels to specific plants to produce the type of milk best suited for their current needs. Salty milk was preferred for making cheese, while sweet milk was better for drinking fresh or making yogurt. The sustainability of this system was extraordinary. Unlike modern dairy operations that require massive inputs of feed, water, and infrastructure, camel milk production was completely adapted to desert conditions. The camels converted sparse desert vegetation into high-quality nutrition with an efficiency that modern agriculture still can't match. But perhaps most importantly, the Bedouins discovered that camel milk could sustain human life completely on its own, during extreme situations. Historical accounts describe nomads surviving for months during severe droughts, consuming nothing but camel milk, maintaining their strength and health when all other food sources had failed. Living by the sun's rhythm. The final hack is the most fundamental, the principle from which all others are derived. In the modern world, we live by the clock. In the desert, that is an act of fatal arrogance. Here, you must surrender to the rhythm of the sun. The Bedouin understand this. They know traveling during the midday heat is suicide. Instead, they practice a desert siesta. During the hottest part of the day, all activity ceases. They rest in their ventilated shelters and conserve energy. The only way to win is not to play the game. Travel and work are reserved for the cooler hours of the early morning and late afternoon. But this brings another challenge: navigation. Without GPS, they used the sun and stars. They understood that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. At night, the sky becomes a map. They knew how to find Polaris, the North Star, a fixed anchor in the heavens. But here's what makes this even more remarkable. They also read the land itself. They understood how the prevailing winds shaped the sand dunes, creating a massive landscape-sized compass. This is a profound shift in mindset. It's about letting the environment dictate your actions. I've been following this rhythm, and it feels completely natural. I'm not fighting the heat, I'm avoiding it. This, more than anything, feels like the true secret. It's not about conquering the desert, it's about respecting it. We're testing centuries of wisdom, and it's proving its worth through pure physics and physiology. Hit like if this ancient engineering blew your mind. And let me know in the comments, where are you tuning in from? Honestly, when you think about survival now, will you think about these nomads who figured this out thousands of years ago? I love knowing who's out there questioning how much we've really advanced. My time here is ending. As the sun sets, I'm filled with a profound respect for this brutal, beautiful place, and for the people who mastered it. The hacks we tested are not just clever tricks, they are a holistic system for life, a testament to generations of observation. They reveal a wisdom that sees the human body and the natural world as an interconnected system. Wearing loose clothing to create a personal cooling engine. Building breathable shelters. Drinking hot tea to trigger sweating. Consuming a light salty diet. Mastering the art of finding water in seemingly barren landscapes. Navigating by reading the very bones of the earth. Preserving food without modern technology. Understanding the complete nutritional science of camel milk. And surrendering to the rhythm of the sun. What I've learned is that the desert does not reward brute force. It rewards intelligence, patience. The ancient wisdom of the nomads isn't forgotten, it's just been drowned out. But it's still here, a reminder that sometimes the best way to survive the future is to listen to the wisdom of the past. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the forgotten science of desert survival. If these techniques have opened your eyes to the incredible ingenuity of our ancestors, make sure you're subscribed, because we're just getting started exploring the lost wisdom that could change your life. And I'm dying to know, which of these 9 techniques would you actually try? Have you ever been in a situation where this ancient knowledge could have helped you? Drop a comment and tell me about it. Your stories help me understand what survival topics matter most to you. Remember, in a world that seems to get more unpredictable every day, sometimes the most advanced technology is the simplest solution. Stay curious, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next adventure.
There are millions and millions of people worldwide who suffer with neck problems or will have neck problems. Everyone has to sleep, our posture, our prolonged forward head posture, when we text, all the things we do wrong. And the neck is so important when it comes to our health because this is where our spine runs through from the brain. The brain sits up here and it sends messages down the spine out all these nerves. These yellow nerves. And between the vertebrae we have discs. And many of us have heard as well as degeneration that happens as we get older. So the neck is directly involved with many conditions like headaches, neck pain of course, pain in the shoulder blades, radiation of pain into the shoulders, chest or arm, tingling, numbness, cramping, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, vertigo, lightheadedness, diminished range of motion, radicular pain that can radiate to different areas. But the key thing is that we need to be able to become proactive and do things for our muscles when they act up. So what I'm going to show you today are some great techniques that if you're having neck problems, you can't turn it, the area is chronic, no one's helping you, you've been on medication, which has side effects, let me show you some things where you can get some quick results that's safe and very effective. And one of the most common muscles involved in our neck when it comes to neck problems is called the sternocleidomastoid, the SCM. If you turn your head to one side, you'll notice that big muscle come out. And what's important about that muscle is that it attaches to the mastoid process on the side of our temporal area. And that's where our hearing is. And when this compresses downwards, this has a direct relationship with the brain, has a direct relationship with nerves that can become referred, meaning that as this muscle contracts, you may have a hard time turning your head to one side or the other, but you can feel referred pain down the blade, into the arms, into the fingers. You can feel tingling, numbness, cramping, aching, as well as fatigue and tiredness. Because neurologically, this is very, very much involved. So the first thing I will tell you is that when we have problems in our neck, usually it's one-sided, so I'm going to focus on my left side. Then I'll go on to another part after. One of the best things we can do to a muscle is massage it, yes, but to cross-fiber it, meaning that if the SCM muscle, as I turn here, sticks out, it goes straight down. And generally, if we push along that muscle, we're going to say, ow, that hurts. You'll notice when you turn your head one way or the other, you'll notice your motion will be very restricted on one side versus the other. And your motion should be all the way over where your chin can go over your shoulder and on the other side as well. And many of you cannot do that, including myself on one side. So the best thing we can do, number one, is we will make a knife edge, just like this side of our hand. And by the way, whenever we are going to work our muscles, if your skin is not lubricated, you can use a little lotion, a little massage oil, a little avocado oil, olive oil, any type of oil, a little bit, just put it on your neck. But what I like you to do is just make a knife edge, and you're going to go just like this, across the muscle, cross fiber it. And when you do it, it's going to be sore over certain areas, but you kind of work all the way down, and you can work all the way up. Just cross fiber it. You see what I'm doing right here? Just go across the muscle, because this has a way of telling the brain to release that muscle. And that's what we want to do, because that's going to get you out of pain. Because when those muscles squeeze, they squeeze on those nerves as well. It squeezes on the blood vessels, affecting the blood supply. And it becomes a whole vicious cycle. So, as we talk about a knife edge, you don't have to use a knife. If you have silverware where you have a spoon or a fork, but you see, I want a really thickened area, nothing too thin, because we want a little thickened area. It's is fairly similar, but I'm going to go with the fork. It's a little bit bigger. And we're going to use this edge, just like this, too. You can take it like this. You can cross fiber it, just like that. Just cross fiber it. You can use this as well. Or you can use a knife edge of your own hand. I like to use your hand, but sometimes if you have an area that's really in there, you can't get it in your hand, you can use a little tool and you can work it like this. Just kind of come across that area. Okay? Now, when a muscles contract and you are getting a lot of pulling on that area, one of my favorite techniques is called PNF. It's a neuromuscular reeducation type of technique that we always want to release that muscle. So let's say here it's tight, I come over to the side, I can't. Well, so let's challenge it. So take your hand to your involved side. We're going to pull away from it. So if I pull away as I'm stretching this muscle, it hurts. I can't stretch it anymore. But here's what you want to do. we want to trick the brain. And how do we trick the brain? Well, we're going to take our head and push it into our hand for 5 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5, as we resist with that hand. And then we relax it, and then we pull over a little bit more. Then we'll push back against that hand as the hand resists, not allowing us to go back into it, holding it in that position as we're getting tension in there. After 5 seconds, then we can pull a little bit more. So you get the hint. That's what you want to do. It's a great technique. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in any muscle. Is that when the muscles contract, you lose mobility. When you lose mobility, you don't want to leave that loss of mobility alone because it will worsen. And that's why we need to free it up. So, one of my favorite techniques that I really believe you're going to see great changes immediately is that we're going to go back to that knife edge again as we did before, like this, okay? But as we do that knife edge, we're going to go across the muscle, but we're going to pull it the opposite way as we go across, okay? And now we're going to start a little higher up, and we're going to work your way down. So every time you pull the neck across, you're going across with that knife edge over that muscle. You're going sideways. Pull the neck over, going sideways. And it really hurts good. Yes, you can go as slow as you want, as fast as you want, but slower the better. And just pull over as you knife edge it at the same time. Because now we're doing a double whammy where we're releasing the muscle, cross-fibering it. At the same time, we're sending neurological impulses back to the brain. The brain's going to tell that muscle to relax even more. So now let's focus with that same side of the neck. Right now you should feel quite a bit of difference. It should be a lot looser. But this time, after we cross-fiber it, we can go along longitudinally, the same direction as that muscle. And we can still use our knife edge. And as we pull over, we're going to start on top and we're going to run down the muscles we pull over. So now we're going to work the direct longitudinal direction of the muscle as we're pulling over, going down. Okay, and you'll notice that your motion will continue to get better and those muscles will continue to release and it will get so much easier as we're releasing that whole muscle. Now, what I'd like you to do, I want you to work the anterior front part of the SCM muscle, because generally what we were doing now is that we were over the whole base of the muscle. But you have specific nerves that go into the throat, the front of the neck, as well as other areas back into the skull, particularly on the temporal region, on the anterior part. So if you feel that muscle as you're going down that area, I want you to come a little more forward on that muscle now. And as you notice, when you pull across and as you go forward on that muscle, not directly on your throat, but just off of that area where you're on the muscle, you should not be choking or coughing. If you go on the front part of the muscle, and you'll feel it as you come down, it's going to be real tender. That's where a lot of the hidden problems stay, right there. Right in the front of that muscle, right there. As we go right down it, just like this, in front of that muscle, those anterior fibers, that's where a lot of our problems occur. Now you'll notice, you're not only going to feel a release and all that motion come back, but if you have like coughing spells, problems swallowing, all of those conditions can be related to the SCM muscle. And you're going to notice, many of you will notice, not all, but if you're having chronic problems, as we mentioned, anywhere from tinnitus to coughing, to always clearing your throat, to problems even up in the jaw area, these anterior SCM muscles are a big thing because it can really make a huge difference to get you feeling better. So let's go to the back of the skull now, because what's quite common as we spend a lot of time texting and looking down, our head weighs about 12 pounds, and every inch we go forward is an additional 10 pounds. So if you're doing this 2 inches forward, you've got 40 pounds of 30-something pounds of stress being pulled on those muscles. And what you're doing is you're eventually going to have this hunching, this little hunchback that can eventually start to occur. You may notice that the discs may start to degenerate quicker. The nerves may become more pinched and irritated. You may start getting more headaches. You can start feeling more lightheaded, more dizziness. It can affect your eyes because the greater occipital nerve root comes underneath the skull, goes over the head behind the eyes. So if you notice that you're getting a lot of tension behind your neck, in your traps, just maybe getting those headaches, a great little exercise is just bring your chin, like you're doing a chin tuck, where your ears are over your shoulders, kind of like this, and leave your chin where it's at. Take your hands behind your head as your chin is tucked in and bring it over as your chin will eventually touch your neck. And as you do so, you'll feel an amazing stretch behind, right here where my thumbs are, tapping behind the skull, because those muscles in the back of the upper trapezius here attaches right behind the skull area. So tucking the chin in, bringing it over and around like this, and pulling downwards. You're going to feel a nice stretch in it. Hold that there a good 15, 20 seconds. Do that several times. And what you can also do is while you do so, bring your chin over to the left and then do it. And you'll feel one side, and then bring your chin to the right, keep it tucked in, come over and around, and you'll feel a stretch on the other side. So you'll work the whole occipital area all across the skull, underneath, all underneath the occiput, all under here. That is so directly tied into conditions of vertigo, dizziness, it could be tinnitus, that ringing in the ears, those headaches behind the eyes. You'll notice you feel like it's compressed. Doing that stretch can really do great things for you. So let's grab your fork or your spoon, whichever has a wider area here, because what we can also do is we can take this edge right here, we want lubricant on there or something, and we can just go down that side of the neck like this. We could pick different points, but we can extend our head to this side and backwards. And this really opens it up as we extend and go backwards. And as you come down that muscle, extend and go backwards, you're going to get a lot of stimulation on those SCM muscles. And you don't need to push too hard. It's the repetition. Probably only about a minute, minute and a half is all you need, because you don't want to over kill the muscle or the skin. But as you do this, and you can start turning your head in little circles, just kind of rotate around. So as you rotate around, like I'm doing here, you can really get a lot of those fibers in there. And you can be creative, but remember, these muscles are the reins that's holding everything together. These muscles on the side, you have the scalenus muscles, but as we focus down these muscles, you're going to work more than just the SCM. You're going to work a multitude of those muscles. And you want to let those muscles breathe, because when you're sleeping incorrectly, if your head is propped up or is down too far, as we're studying or looking down on our phone or our computer, we're hunched over with our rounded shoulders, these muscles are crying. So if we spend a little bit of love and give it to our muscles, and do those little simple techniques, particularly if you have that stiff neck, if you just woke up, if you're having chronic neck problems, those little techniques I just reviewed with you, explore with them, play with them. You may have chronic conditions, as I said, like tinnitus and vertigo and lightheadedness and chronic headaches. There are so many of those issues that people are complaining about that's all related to these neck muscles, because those nerves are all interconnected with the brain and the ears and the eyes. And I really hope that this technique can help you. So I hope this video serves you well. Utilize these techniques. It doesn't matter what kind of neck issue you have. You're going to release these muscles, you're going to feel better. These nerves are all tied in. Back to the brain, to the ears, to the eyes, to the face, to the TMJ. It's all connected. Release these muscles and you're going to see miraculous changes. Share it with those that can benefit. If it's a friend, a loved one, you'll be doing them a great favor. Please leave your comments below. I'd be very anxious to see how well you've done. And most important, Make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel. I am going to share something with you today regarding our ears. It's all about the ears. That's going to play a tremendous role on our health, our mind, our well-being, our sleep, our relaxation, and our healing. I am going to review a few different things that we can do to make things happen like that. Because if you look in the inside of our ears, it's an inverted fetus. Look here. The head's on the bottom, the spine's on the outside, as the feet and toes are up on the top. And it's quite remarkable because this goes back to thousands of years ago through acupuncturists as well as auricular therapists, those that only look at the ears to help treat the body. Now, if you look at those areas in the ear, all of those parts of that fetus correspond to the parts of our own body. So if we stimulate those areas, we can reap those benefits. But what I love about the ears, and I've spent numerous years working with auricular therapy, laser therapy in the ear, I have seen remarkable changes when it comes down to reducing stress, people being able to get to sleep fast, tons of energy, increase healing throughout their entire body, increase vitality, changes in their blood pressure, and I'll explain why. But the brain and the ear has such a direct correlation, the connection, that when we stimulate points in our ears, it makes its way to the brain like that. And the neurons, along with the hormones and the neurotransmitters, are all interconnected with our ears. So would it be great that we can just make a little change in our ear through our own fingertips, how we can heal our own body? And the technique that I'm about to show you is so simple. I mean simple, but very few of us would ever think of doing it. Now remember the connection between our ears and our brain. And I want you to realize that whatever symptoms that you may be having right now, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, vertigo, dizziness, lack of energy, insomnia, rapid heartbeats, higher blood pressure, this will kick up your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest. This system is what allows your body to heal and live comfortably, freely, longer, healthier by just changing that sympathetic mode, that anxiety mode, that adrenaline, that cortisol mode that you may be in, that many people are in because we have to work and there's so much we have to do. So let's get back to the simple technique right now. And there's 3 areas we're going to hold, but all of these areas are going to be stimulated the same way. Yes, it's going to be shaking the ears, just like this. We're going to be doing an upper quadrant, middle quadrant, and lower quadrant. I'm going to do it with you. But I want you to experience the results immediately after. I want you to be able to compare before and after. That if you're having some tinnitus, before and after. If you're having anxiety, you feel nervous, before and after. If you notice that you're feeling like your heartbeat beating too fast, before and after. I want you to understand and correlate the physiology before and after. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want you to experience, because once you experience this, you're going to start getting excited. You're going to want to start doing this technique more often. You can do this technique any place, anywhere, anytime, and it's completely 100% safe. No money, no drugs, all natural, using your own pharmacy within your own brain to produce the right chemicals that your body needs. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to ear, and I just want you to shake it like this. And you're going to shake this only about 20 seconds. Okay? You're going to hear a little flickering. Go ahead and do it with me. This part of the ear, you may notice as you pull and shake, because you're going to pull a little bit and tug it, This was going to work directly with your eustachian tubes. Okay? After 20 seconds, you're pulling and tugging a little bit, but you're shaking. And then I want you to stop. Many of you are going to feel drainage right away. And many of you will feel drainage minutes away from now. But you're going to feel that hyperemia, that sensation of tingling and itching. That's what we want. We want to increase blood supply. Now I want you to come a little bit lower in the middle of the ear and do the same thing, 20 seconds. Tug a little bit and shake it back and forth. Yes, you're going to hear a little click, 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 click. But right now, this is a very, very powerful area because this area is going to start affecting the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is part of the parasympathetic nervous system. Stop. Now, by stimulating this and stopping, it's going to be more quiet. And then people who have that tinnitus, that ringing, that buzzing and humming, which many millions of people do worldwide, you'll start to see changes immediately. It becomes more quiet. Now I want you to grab on the lower part of the ear. And as we tug the earlobe back and forth, the area right below it is where the main part of the vagus nerve comes through. The vagus nerve is cranial nerve 10. Keep tugging. 20 seconds, part of the parasympathetic nervous system. This is going to stimulate that vagus nerve. It's going to slow you down. After 20 seconds, stop. Yes, it becomes much quieter. But look at your breath. Serene, relaxed, things starting to wind down. The vagus nerve that comes from this area makes its way to the heart, to the intestines. The rest and digest. This can help your digestion, it can help your stomach problems, your intestinal problems, your anxiety. This is what's going to calm you down. It's going to take that cortisol and adrenaline, it's going to start to melt. Serenity. Yes, you want to do this before you go to bed. I challenge you. This technique, it's so easy, we forget to do it. But I invite you to take the challenge. Do it. Spend a week. Just do it a few times a day. Do both ears, the upper, middle, lower quadrant, and just experience what happens with your body. Yes, it may be headaches, it may be lightheadedness, it may be vertigo. I want to get you off the symptoms and back into your own body's health and healing. That's what we want. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends and family. Leave your comments below. I wish you only good health. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel.
Everyone talks about apple cider vinegar, green tea, and lemon water for fat loss. I tried all of them, but they didn't seem to help much with my fat loss. Instead, I tried this ancient drink, which is made with simple seeds, and that changed everything for me. My digestion improved, my bloating went away, and the biggest thing, my stubborn belly fat improved in just 7 days. And the interesting part is that this recipe was given to me a long time ago by my grandmother. She used this drink every night and she was the same size for over 40 years and without any crazy diets or workouts. And here's the wild part. Science has finally caught up with her because I was able to find more than 13 published research studies on the ingredients of this drink that helps the people to lose stubborn fat, especially around their belly area. So today I am sharing with you this secret nighttime seed drink that is easy to make but backed by science that can help you to lose weight while you sleep. Hi, I'm Dr. Anshul Gupta, a former Cleveland Clinic functional medicine physician in US. I help people with chronic health conditions to improve them naturally. Now, apple cider vinegar is great and trendy, but for me, it gave me reflux as soon as I started using it. And I also tried using lemon water in the morning every day. but it didn't move my needle of fat loss. And then I remembered my grandmother's nighttime ritual of drinking this simple seed drink, which she told me helps her with fat loss. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. But the interesting part is that we all have been focusing on just burning fat. But now the new research shows that for your body to lose fat, you need to create something called metabolic harmony. And that is the key to sustainable fat loss. Now, what is this metabolic harmony? Your body doesn't lose fat when it is stressed out. When your evening cortisol levels are high, when you have blood sugar spikes in the evening, that blocks your fat metabolism. And again, if you have too much inflammation in your body, that again blocks the fat oxidation in your body. Recent studies show that when your body has less amount of inflammation, when your blood sugars are stable, and plus when you help your body to detoxify in the night, that's where naturally your body starts burning fat. This is where the night time is very important because your metabolic reset is happening in the middle of the night and not during the day. And this particular nighttime drink targets all of these issues that are stopping you from losing your fat and make it easier for you to lose fat. Now let me share with you the exact ingredients in this drink and how they are going to help you to lose fat. And then I'm going to tell you the exact recipe of how to prepare it and most importantly, when to consume it, because that's the most important key over here. The first ingredient over here is coriander seeds. Now, coriander seed water is very popular. Most people are using it for their gut as well as for detoxification and also for weight loss. But what people don't know is that coriander seed water alone cannot help you to lose weight. And plus, most people are consuming this water in the morning, which doesn't help them much because you have to use it at night time combined with other ingredients for it to work. Now, how does coriander seed water work? So study shows that it has quercetin as well as it has something called linalool. These both two compounds supports your liver detox, reduces inflammation in your body and supports your gut health. And there are animal research studies which shows that coriander seed water can stabilize your blood sugar levels. So that's the reason coriander seed water is really great over here. The second ingredient over here is fenugreek seeds. Now fenugreek seeds contains galactomannan, which is a soluble fiber which helps to reduce your appetite as well as again improves your insulin sensitivity. It is like a natural GLP-1 or Ozempic for your body because it curbs your appetite and stabilizes your blood sugar. The next ingredient over here is fennel seeds. The fennel seeds have something called anethole. This works really great in your gut. It improves your digestion, stabilizes your blood sugar and also reduces bloating in your stomach. And by supporting your gut health, it improves your fat loss. The next ingredient is cinnamon stick. Cinnamon has something called cinnamaldehyde, which has shown in research studies that it improves your blood sugar levels, especially it improves the insulin sensitivity of your body and thereby helps with fat loss. The last ingredient over here is ginger. Ginger works on your body to lose weight by multiple ways. It has potent anti-inflammatory compounds, so reduces inflammation in your body. Plus it promotes the natural thermogenesis, which is a mechanism of fat burning in your body. So thereby ginger is a great addition to this drink. So you see all of these 5 ingredients of this drink are working at different levels to support your body's inherent mechanism of fat burning and fat loss. Now let me tell you how to exactly prepare this drink. For this drink, you have to first soak 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds and 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds for a minimum of 10 to 12 hours. So the best thing is to soak them in the morning so that by the night time they are ready to be used. And you use 1.5 cup of water to soak them. Then in the night after your dinner, you add ½ inch of cinnamon stick to this mixture, ½ teaspoon of fennel seeds, ½ inch of grated ginger into it, and then you put this pot on the gas stove and then heat it for around 5 minutes. Do not let this mixture boil, but simmer it for only 5 minutes and then you strain it into a cup. What is the best time to consume it? You consume it 1 hour before your bedtime. The reason being, all of these ingredients will get absorbed in your system and will start working on your digestion, your liver detoxification, as well as they improve your insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control in your body. Now let me share with you my 7-day experience while using this drink. From day 1 to day 3, I started waking up in the morning with no bloating. Plus, my quality of the sleep was also much better. From day 3 to day 5, I started noticing that my cravings for my sugar was less and my stress levels were also less. And on day 7 and day 8, I started noticing some changes in my belly fat area. Although I lost only 3 pounds in this first week, but with consistency, I was able to lose more pounds in the next few weeks. So if you have already dialed down your diet during the day, you're already working out to help with weight loss, and now you're looking for the next step to optimize your weight loss, this nighttime drink might be the game changer. So pair it with your healthy diet, with your healthy exercising, and you should see great results, especially in losing that stubborn belly fat. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to my channel, as well as share this video with others who can benefit from this great information. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
What if you could start tapping into the same fat-burning, appetite-reducing power of drugs like Ozempic or Wegovy without ever taking a single injection? Millions of people are now using these GLP-1 drugs, hoping for fast, effortless weight loss like that. And while many do see results, they're often followed by uncomfortable side effects like nausea, vomiting, bloating, fatigue, muscle loss, and in many other cases, weight regain after the drug is stopped. But what if I told you that there's a natural way to mimic the same physiological response, and all it takes is 1 simple teaspoon before bed? Today I want to introduce you to a powerful natural elixir made from just 3 simple ingredients: chia seeds, cinnamon, and water. This nighttime drink supports your body's own GLP-1 activity, helping you feel fuller longer, helping to curb your cravings, support your blood sugar, and melt away stubborn belly fat while you sleep. And the best part, these are ingredients that you probably already have in your kitchen right now. No prescriptions, no risk, and no side effects. So let's talk about why this works. First, chia seeds. When soaked in liquid, these little seeds expand dramatically, forming this thick gel-like substance that fills your stomach, and it slows your digestion down. You see, here's what happens. When chia seeds sit in water for just a few minutes, they swell up and form this thick gel, and the same effect happens in your stomach. And this is how they slow digestion, curb your hunger, and naturally support these GLP-1 pathways that help burn fat. And this is critical because one of the key things that GLP-1 medications do is to slow gastric emptying, the speed at which food leaves your stomach, making its way into the small intestine. And when food moves more slowly, your body releases less insulin, less ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and more satiety hormones like this GLP-1 and PYY. Chia seeds replicate the effect naturally, but it doesn't stop there. And chia seeds are rich in soluble fiber, so healthy for you. And this is the kind of fiber that promotes that fullness, and it also feeds the healthy gut bacteria. These gut microbes ferment that fiber and the short-chain fatty acids, which directly influence the release of those hormones in your intestinal walls, including GLP-1. So when you drink chia or eat chia, you just are not filling space. You're stimulating your body's own appetite control system. And in addition, chia contains alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3, which supports fat metabolism, and it reduces inflammation that often interferes with weight loss. And now let's bring in the cinnamon, because the common spice has incredible benefits for blood sugar regulation. Studies have shown that just 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon per day can improve insulin sensitivity, reducing blood glucose levels, and even lowering bad cholesterol. Cinnamon slows carbohydrate digestion, reducing those sugar cravings, which helps your cells respond better to insulin, which keeps fat storage down and energy levels steady. Remember, high insulin means more fat stores. And pairing cinnamon with chia seeds creates this synergistic effect. Fiber slows digestion, cinnamon balances the blood sugar response. This gives your body a calm, steady environment to shift into fat-burning mode, especially overnight. So how do you make it? There are two simple, easy ways. Option one is the blended method, and this is the smoothest and fastest. You combine 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, preferably Ceylon cinnamon, 8 to 12. Optional, you can use a dash of raw honey, monk fruit, stevia, your natural sweetener, if you have to. You'll blend it thoroughly and you'll drink it immediately. Blending actually helps break down the chia as well as the cinnamon, which gives you that smooth consistency. You don't have to wait. It happens right away. And option two is a non-blended method. If you don't want to blend, simply stir the ingredients in the water. But this is important. Let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes so the chia can fully expand. You want that chia to expand. You want it to be soft. If you drink it too soon, the seeds may still be hard or gritty. It can cause bloating or discomfort as they absorb water in your stomach. But in both cases, I like to recommend between 8 to 12 ounces of water. I always believe more is better, particularly that you have those chia seeds. It absorbs it. That's the sweet spot. Just enough for hydration, expansion, and smooth digestion. And you want to take this about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Why before bed? Because nighttime is when your metabolism slows down. Your body switches into repair mode. And your hormones like growth hormone and leptin rise. This drink helps stabilize your blood sugar. It calms your appetite before that hormonal shift happens, which prevents that late night snacking. It helps your body's transition into a more fat oxidizing state, particularly overnight while you're sleeping, especially around that midsection where that visceral fat tends to accumulate. That's the dangerous fat that can lead to metabolic syndrome. But let me be very clear. This natural elixir can definitely help support your hunger like the GLP-1 drugs. It will help support your hormones, your metabolism. It's not a free pass to eat anything and expect miracles. To get real, lasting results, you still need to fuel your body the right way. That means avoiding those heavily processed foods, those refined sugars, those hydrogenated oils that create inflammation that disrupts insulin balance. I cannot stress to you how important it is in any type of weight loss diet, whatever it may be, is to drink plenty of water throughout the day, because hydration helps your cells function better. It supports detoxification. It actually boosts your metabolism. So get enough quality sleep, because deep sleep is when your body produces the most growth hormone. That's the key. And if you don't sleep enough, your hunger hormones become dysregulated. You tend to overeat the next day, and it's just as important to get some kind of movement or light exercise several times a week. It doesn't have to be intense. Even walking, stretching, body weight movement, bands, whatever it may be, will definitely help reduce stress. It will help your metabolism. It will help improve fat metabolism. And remember, chronic stress increases cortisol. This elevates cortisol levels, leading to more insulin resistance and more fat storage, especially around the belly, the visceral fat. So think of this nightly drink as a powerful tool, but one that works best when it's combined with better lifestyle habits, better sleep, more movement, and less stress. Now, I really want to be clear with you. This isn't a magic bullet. You're not going to melt off 20 pounds overnight. But when you consistently support your satiety hormones, because weight loss is about satiety hormones, you're going to be reducing glucose spikes. You're not going to have that crave, and you're allowing your digestive system to rest at night. Your body starts to work with you instead of against you. And most people who try this report fewer cravings. They definitely reduce belly fat, less bloating, and noticeable changes in their waistline in just several days. You can start seeing things change. And that's why I challenge you. So you want to try this natural GLP-1 elixir for 7 nights straight. Take a photo of yourself before you start. Notice how your clothes fit, how your hunger feels, how your energy shifts, and then compare it like a week later. And then you'll do it another week. But you'll stay on this simple type of elixir. It's healthy in many different ways for your body. And the truth is, if you keep supporting your hormones with the right foods, you get your better sleep, your hydration, your movement, and this nightly ritual, no doubt, will definitely compound on itself over time. Your metabolism will shift, your appetite will be more regulated, and your body composition will start to reflect those internal changes. Remember, it's not just about looking thinner. It's about finally helping your system rebalance, helping your system repair, and work the way it was designed to. And the beauty of it is this: it costs pennies. There's no side effects. There's no prescriptions. It's just a teaspoon every night to support your hormones, your digestion, your fat metabolism, your long-term health. So skip the crash diets, skip those extreme drugs that can cause side effects, and let your body work smarter and start tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share your comments below. Please share it with your friends and family because you'll be doing them a great asset. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel.
Are you still waking up with stiff joints or feeling tired or fatigued? Or you have this dull inflammation? Doesn't matter what medications you take or what kind of diet you are following. Well, what if the problem is not what you are eating, but actually what you are drinking? We as functional medicine providers have spoken a lot about what is the best diet to reduce inflammation, but nobody is paying attention in terms of what is the right water for you to drink and how to drink it so you can reduce inflammation. Yes, 60% of your body is water, and this water plays a very significant role in reducing inflammation in your body. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about a special recipe of this water that you can create at home that has shown in research studies to reduce inflammation and also improve your health. So stick around if you still have inflammation in your body and you're looking for new natural ways of stopping this inflammation in your body. Hi, I'm Dr. Anshul Gupta, a former Cleveland Clinic functional medicine physician from US with advanced training in functional medicine and integrative medicine. I've helped countless number of people to get rid of inflammation and get their life back. So now let's talk about this special recipe of water which I'm talking about that can help you improve your inflammation levels. Well, it actually starts inside your body, your cells. Your body cells maintain a specific pH, and you might know it as acidic pH or alkaline pH. What happens is that when there is too much inflammation inside your body cells, then your pH of your body becomes very acidic. That means there is too much acid production happening and there is too much inflammation which starts attacking your own body and your own cells. This is where we need to improve your body's pH and make it alkaline so we can reduce this inflammation in your body. So this is where water plays a very important role in maintaining the proper pH of your body's cells. You might have heard about the concept of alkaline water, and you might also have heard that alkaline water is a new fad and a lot of celebrities use alkaline water to improve their health. But today I'm going to break it down whether research supports the claim that this alkaline water can help reducing inflammation in your body or not. Now, alkaline water isn't all about just changing pH of your water. It is also about how water interacts with your cells, with your mitochondria, with your immune system, so that the whole cell gets healthy and as well as your body inflammation markers also improve. So your typical tap water or your bottled water has a neutral pH of 7. And if you're using an RO system or reverse osmosis system, what it does is that it reduces the pH of your water because it removes all all the minerals which are actually maintaining the neutral pH of your body. So if you're using a water filter, especially a reverse osmosis water filter, then it is very important to work on your water's health to make it more alkaline so that it can safeguard and improve the health of your body. Now, alkaline water has a pH of between 8 to 9. What it means is that it can actually help to neutralize the excessive acid which is being produced inside the cells of your body. But what is more important is that it has several different kinds of minerals like potassium, like magnesium and bicarbonate that helps restore the body's internal balance. And we have several research studies which proves that people whose body's pH levels are more acidic have higher inflammation markers in their blood levels, and they have more symptoms of feeling tired, fatigued, brain fog, joint pain issues. But now let's see what research says. Can alkaline water improve inflammation levels in your body? So there was a research study published in 2018 in the Journal of Immunology, which concluded that drinking water mixed with baking soda, which makes it more alkaline, can possibly reduce the chances of having inflammatory conditions in your body. In this particular study, what they saw was that people's inflammation markers in their blood actually improved significantly after consuming this alkaline water. Another research study published in 2020 in the papers in processes, reduced water significantly improved the antioxidant status as well as also reduce the oxidative stress markers. Now, oxidative stress is another name for inflammation in your body, and by improving your antioxidant status, the alkaline water will help in reducing inflammation in your body. And we have other clinical reports that people who have consumed for a short amount of time alkaline water have shown that can reduce their CRP levels, which is a blood marker for inflammation, as well as can also improve their uric acid levels, which is another marker of inflammation in your body. So clearly, research does suggest that drinking alkaline water can improve inflammation levels in your body. But the very important thing to know over here is that not all alkaline water are created equal. Most of the bottled version of alkaline water being sold in the stores are not bioactive. What that means is that it doesn't have all the minerals which gives this alkaline water its therapeutic potential. And plus, some of these alkaline waters have a pH which is very, very high, which can actually damage your body. So it is very important to know the right kind of pH which is best to consume for alkaline water in your body, so you do not do any harm and actually improve your inflammation levels. And this is where I'm sharing with you this recipe of alkaline water that you can make at home, which is pretty safe and can easily help in reducing inflammation. So now I'm going to share with you two different recipes. One is an intense recipe, or what we call as a short-term recipe, and it is only supposed to be used for short-term duration so that you can improve your body's pH, and then you use the long-term recipe which I'm going to share afterwards. So let's talk about the short-term recipe first. So for this you need 1 liter of filtered water or reverse osmosis water. Then you add to it 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda or sodium bicarbonate. And then you can add 1/8 teaspoon of potassium bicarbonate, or if that is not available, you can add 1/4 teaspoon of potassium citrate powder. And make sure when you're buying both of these powders, you are buying high quality food grade powders, so that way they are very pure to be used for your body. And then you mix all of these ingredients in a bottle. Now, what is the best way and best time to consume this water? You drink 1/2 liter of this in the morning and an empty stomach, and then another 1/2 liter you do in the mid-afternoon, which is between your lunch and dinner. Once you make this water in the morning, you can store in the refrigerator so you can use it in the afternoon. Now, as I told you before, this is only a short-term recipe, so you only use it for 1 to 2 weeks and not more than that. So this particular recipe, do not make your water too much alkaline, plus it gives you the right minerals which is needed to support your inflammation levels, and that way it will help you in reducing inflammation in your body. Now, as a caution, if you have kidney diseases, or if you have high blood pressure issues, or you're taking high blood pressure medications, it is very important to consult your doctor before you do this recipe. Doing this short-term intense alkaline water routine, then let me share with you a long-term routine that is going to continue to keep your body in the alkaline state. So to prepare this recipe, again you need 1 liter of water, and then you add to it 5 to 6 slices of cucumber. Then you add 2 slices of lemon or lime into it. Then you add 5 to 6 fresh mint leaves into it, and then 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt to it. Then you mix all of these ingredients into a jar and then keep this jar in the refrigerator overnight, because you need to infuse this jar overnight in your refrigerator so that all the minerals, antioxidants, polyphenols from all of these things will get infused into the water. And then in the morning, you can strain this water into a different container. Now again, what is the best way and best time to consume this water? Consume half a liter of this water in the morning when you wake up, empty stomach, and then another half a liter you can consume it during the daytime between your lunch and your dinner time. If half a liter of water is too much for you in one go, then you can definitely divide it into smaller glasses and then consume it throughout the day also. This recipe you can consume for long-term basis because this will keep your body in the alkaline shape once you have done the intense protocol. It also has a lot of polyphenols, lot of antioxidants, and also great minerals which is needed by your body to function better. It will keep your adrenals happy, your thyroid happy, your gut happy also. So I have shared both of these recipes with you. If you want to start with an intense therapy, you can start over there if you have too much inflammation in your body. But if you have very small amount of inflammation in your body, or if you want to start on the safer side, then start the gentler recipe first and see how your body likes it. And as I shared with you before, if you have chronic kidney disease, or if you have high blood pressure issues, or you're on medications for high blood pressure, make sure you consult your doctor before using these things. So you might have tried different kinds of diet to reduce inflammation, but you might not be paying attention to your water. And today I have shared with you eye-opening research which shows that water is very important to maintain the pH of your body, and by maintaining this proper pH, you can reduce inflammation levels. And these two recipes are easy to make at home. So try these recipes today itself at home and see what difference you feel. Now, as you know, these are not replacement for medications or supplements, and they work slowly. So it will take you around 1 to 2 weeks before you're going to start seeing some difference in the body's inflammation. And make sure you pair it with an anti-inflammatory diet and also an anti-inflammatory supplement. As you might be aware, I have made a special InflammaPro supplement, which is a very strong anti-inflammatory supplement, which has turmeric, ginger, boswellia, quercetin, and a whole bunch of other antioxidants that can reduce inflammation in your body. So give this recipe and a protocol a try and let me know how you feel. And please like and subscribe to my channel so you keep on getting this great information in the future also. And also share this video with others who can benefit from it. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
If you have knee problems or have had knee problems and would like to bulletproof your knees, improving its mobility, flexibility, and also stability, then this video is for you. So firstly, we're going to focus on mobility and flexibility by performing a front leg elevated deep lunge. The goal here is to push your knee as far as it goes until you get to a point where your ankle can no longer support. Then you lift your heel off, allowing you to go a little bit further into this position. The goal here is to hold for about 5 to 10 seconds. And once you reach your desired time, you come back to a reset, relaxed position. You can also perform this with the aid of a kettlebell. You put the kettlebell or even a dumbbell top of the thigh. Then from there, we're going to gently rock forward once again until you get to a position where your ankle can no longer flex. Then come off your heel, allowing you to travel a little bit further. We're going to hold once again 5 to 10 seconds. Then come back to reset. Ideally 2 to 3 sets or 3 to 5 reps each leg. First exercise involved quite a lot of mobility with some flexibility. This exercise is quite similar, and we also introduce a bit of strengthening and stability. So we start in a deep squat position. You're going to need either a barbell plate or I've got a Reebok step here. Once you're in a deep squat, you're going to be assisted. So you're going to grab onto a barbell, as I have, or a TRX cable, anything that you can find your hand on. From here, we're going to make sure that your core is engaged. Breathe in, brace your core, then drop your knees to the ground. Go as far as you can. If you don't touch the ground, it's okay, you don't have to. And then come back, breathe out. So ideally, core is braced. You breathe in on the way down. You breathe out on the way back to the top. You can perform anything upwards of 6 to 10 reps for 2 to 3 sets. So we've taken care of mobility, flexibility, a little bit of strengthening and some stability. We're going to focus a lot more on the strength and stability side now, and that's also going to be assisted. So we're going to go into a deep squat position first. Once you're in deep squat position, you're breathing in, core is braced, you go into an elevated heel position, very high elevation, and then we stand up with that and then reset. So you sit, inhale, core braced, heel elevated, and then you breathe out, reset. I'd say upwards of 10 to 15 reps in this exercise with anything between 2 to 3 sets. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it useful, and see you next time.
Right here is one of the most healthiest powders on the planet. It's called cacao powder. Yes, many of you have heard of cocoa, but cacao comes from the raw cacao bean. Cocoa is heated up from cacao. So it's been heated and it loses some nutrients. Although cacao and cocoa are both very healthy for our bodies. But when it comes to our brain, cacao is rich in flavonoids, particular flavonols, which have been linked to improved cognitive function, enhancing blood flow to the brain, and potentially protecting it against age-related cognitive decline. And when it comes to your skin, cacao's high antioxidant content, including flavonoids and polyphenols, help protect the skin from oxidative damage caused by exposure to UV radiation and pollution, contributing to skin health and youthful appearance. And when it comes to your mood and mental well-being, cacao contains various compounds, including theobromine, which acts as a mood enhancer, giving you the feeling of relaxation, calmness, serenity, and overall well-being. And cacao has a direct effect on our endocrine system. The flavonoids help support insulin sensitivity and helps reverse insulin resistance. It's excellent for managing blood sugar levels and reducing the risk of developing insulin resistance, as well as prediabetes and diabetes. And when it comes to gut health, cacao contains dietary fiber, which helps support digestive health by promoting regular bowel movements, as well as increasing our gut flora to keep your microbiome healthy, which directly affects the health of your immune system. And cacao's antioxidant properties, particularly the flavonoids and magnesium content, help reduce exercise-induced muscle damage, promotes muscle recovery, supports overall tissue health, as well as muscle relaxation through your entire body, preventing Charlie horses and cramping. And lastly, which to me is probably one of the most important aspects, what cacao can do for your body, it has amazing healing medicinal properties when it comes to your cardiovascular system. The flavonoids found in cacao, particularly epicatechin, has been associated with amazing health benefits. These compounds help promote healthy blood flow to all the tissues, glands, and cells. It improves the function of the endothelial cells, that's the lining within the arteries, and it reduces the risk of blood clots. And if you're having high blood pressure, you definitely want to start supplementing with cacao powder, because that cacao affects the internal part of the arteries, allowing it to relax and dilate. As it dilates, more blood supply can get through to those cells, taking stress off the heart, lowering your blood pressure. And the antioxidant properties in cacao, particularly the flavonoids and polyphenols, combat oxidative stress. It reduces the damage caused by free radicals. The antioxidant activity supports the health of the arteries and reduces the risk of clogging of the arteries that we call atherosclerosis. And lastly, when it comes to managing cholesterol, if your LDLs, your low density lipoprotein, is high, or your cholesterol level is high, consumption of cacao has a direct impact on cholesterol levels, help lowering it, reducing the oxidation, promoting healthier and overall cholesterol profiles. I could tell you from my own experience, you start supplementing with cacao in your smoothies, on your desserts, on your fruit, wherever you like to put it. This will do wonderful things for your heart, your arteries, your blood pressure, your immune system, your intestines, your cells of your body, your brain, and I can go on and on. The bottom line is you have to put it to the test and you will see these great results. I hope you found this video helpful. Please share it with your friends and family. Leave your comments below. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel. Welcome. Weight loss seems to be the big ticket today. So many people are having a hard time getting rid of that gut. Poor diet, refined and processed foods put a burden on our pancreas. It causes our insulin to spike as well as our glucose. Eventually we develop insulin resistance. But the problem with too much insulin is that we store too much fat, and that fat that we're storing is visceral fat. The key thing, one of the main things that we need to really focus on is fiber. Fiber does so many amazing things. So I want to go over just a couple of simple ingredients that you can use at home that can really make a huge difference to help get rid of your gut, to help your insulin and glucose levels get back on track, to give you lots of energy, to help you sleep better, to help your digestion, to help cleanse your system. So let's just start with apple cider vinegar. There's lots of things that this does. The acetic acid helps slow digestion from the stomach into the small intestine, allowing insulin and glucose to become more level. Research shows that apple cider vinegar, the acetic acid, will help sustain normal glucose levels. Now remember, this helps satiety because it slows the emptying of the stomach and the small intestine and will not give you that crave or that urge to want to just feast on more sweets. The next thing I want to stress is chia seeds. One of my favorite, filled with so much fiber. The chia seeds are great when it comes to omega-3s, lots of fiber for the colon. Fiber will slow digestion from the stomach into the small intestine. It will regulate glucose levels and it will give you that sense of satiety as well. What I love about chia seeds is that when we put this in water or any type of fluid, it's water soluble. And the water solubility allows a chia seed to swell about 12 times the size. So imagine putting this in water and drinking it down. It's going to swell in our stomach and you're not going to feel hungry at all. But in the same token, these are prebiotics, and the prebiotics are going to feed your probiotics. So when it makes its way to the large colon, large intestine, it's going to feed the probiotics, and butyrate is going to be given off as a result of the exchange of what's happening in the colon. And the butyrate actually seals and protects the colonocytes, and can prevent colon cancer. But that butyrate makes its way into our bloodstream and helps reduce inflammation even more, which is a great asset for us. And cinnamon has many therapeutic medicinal properties. Cinnamon works to help sustain normal glucose levels. Cinnamon works as a thermogenic booster to help increase metabolism. Cinnamon is really a beautiful thing when it comes to eating any type of carbs. And the combination of these ingredients will improve insulin sensitivity and lower blood sugar levels after meals. And better insulin sensitivity helps in managing weight and metabolic syndrome, both of which are associated with fatty liver. And the fiber content will help with satiety, leading to reduced calorie intake and weight loss, as losing weight helps to decrease the amount of fat stored in the liver cells, which can in turn reduce inflammation and the risk of further liver damage. And even the modest weight loss has a significant benefit for liver health. A weight loss of 3 to 5% of body weight can lead to a reduction in liver fat, while a greater weight loss of around 7 to 10% will improve liver inflammation and fibrosis. So what we want to do is that we want to take 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, put it inside the water, about 10, 11 ounces of water you want to have. You're going to take 1 tablespoon of chia seed. Okay, you can do 1 to 1.5 tablespoons. Pour it in the water, as well as a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. You could even use 3/4 of a teaspoon if you like, but start out at a half and put that in the water as well. Now, when you mix it up, you're going to allow that chia seeds to stay in there about 10 minutes before you drink it. The chia seeds will soften up, they'll swell up, and it will really make a huge difference. But what I love to do is, which I'll show you, is that I'm going to mix them all together, and then I'm going to put this in my little blender. After about 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to blend it up. I'll bring it back to you and I'll show you basically what it looks like and how good it is for you. Okay, so I just whipped it up about 30 seconds. In a blender, you can use any type of blender. And you'll notice that the chia seeds, as well as the cinnamon, it's really hard to get it really thinned out to where you drink it. Now, I do like chia seeds where it's a little thick with water, but the cinnamon sometimes is hard to mix in as compared to like a sugar. So what we'll do here is we'll pour this in here, and you can just see how beautiful this thing looks. This is filled with chia seeds, just ready to drink down. If you want, you can put a little bit of honey, a little natural sweetener if you want, if you like, but drink this first thing. Wait about 20 minutes before you eat. This is really going to expand in your system. It's going to give you a lot of satiety. This is great for your digestive system. It's really going to clear you out, but it's so cleansing. Remember, apple cider vinegar is so good for the liver as well as the lymphatic system. And mixing this together is really going to give you great benefits. You'll notice that you're not going to be as hungry. This will really start increasing your metabolic rate. I do recommend everyone exercise, stay away from the processed refined foods. Make sure you get your sleep, drink lots of water, and you can do this a couple times a day. A lot of people like doing this at night as well. It's all safe, it's very effective, and I really think it will make a big difference in helping to speed up your metabolic rate, to help get rid of that gut. But remember, you must eat smart. It's very important. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you lots of good luck to your success in losing your weight. Please share this with your friends and family. Leave your comments below. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel.
We have all heard how chia seeds are amazing for weight loss. They are everywhere. People are using them in their morning smoothies, drink chia seeds water whole day long, as well as using them on their salads also. But what if I told you chia seeds are not the only seeds that help with fat loss? In fact, there is a seed duo which burns more fat than chia seeds and also shrinks your waistline better than what chia seeds can do. And interestingly, nobody is talking about this seed duo. So today I am sharing with you this alternative seeds to chia seeds, which research has shown that they work better, especially for people who have stubborn belly fat and unable to lose weight by trying other things. Hi, I'm Dr. Anshul Gupta, a former Cleveland Clinic physician from US. I've helped thousands of people to lose weight and improve their waistline and get rid of that stubborn belly fat. Now, don't get me wrong, chia seeds are really great and they have several health benefits. They are high in omega-3s, especially the ALA form, especially for people who are vegan or vegetarian. They are packed with fiber, almost 10 grams of fiber in just 2 tablespoons. And plus, because they expand in your stomach, so they make you feel fuller easily so that you eat less amount of food. So by above logic, chia seeds should help people in losing weight. But in some people, chia seeds have failed miserably because they do not attack the stubborn belly fat from all different angles. And this is where the seed combo I am sharing with you today attacks the belly fat from all different angles and make it easier for people to lose this weight. The first seed in this combo is flax seeds. You might have heard of flax seeds or flaxseed oil because of high omega-3s, but most people are not using flax seeds in the right way that can help them to shed belly fat. A bigger eye-opener for me was this 2017 research study, which was actually a meta-analysis of other 45 randomized controlled research studies only looking whether flax seeds can help people in losing weight or not. And the results were shocking. After looking at all of these 45 studies, they concluded that flax seeds play a very significant role in reducing body weight, in reducing the BMI, as well as they played a very significant role in reducing the waist circumference. Thereby, they helped in getting rid of that stubborn belly fat. In certain research studies, the waist reduction was up to 2 inches in just few weeks. So how does flax seeds can achieve this higher fat loss? First of all, flax seeds have a higher amount of soluble fiber in them. So what they do is that they slow the digestion and keep you full a longer amount of time than chia seeds. They also are very high in omega-3s, especially ALA, which helps in reducing inflammation in your body. Plus they contain a specific compound called lignans. These are unique plant compounds which actually influences the fat metabolism and also helps in estrogen metabolism, and also help in rebalancing the estrogen in your body, thereby again helping especially females in losing that stubborn belly fat. It has also shown in several research studies that flax seeds can help in improving cholesterol, reducing inflammation markers, as well as also help in rebalancing hormonal issues in females. Now here's the most important thing, that most people are using whole flax seeds, and the research shows that the whole flax seeds are not useful for people because people are not able to break them down into their gut. So you have to use only ground flax seeds. And the magic number over here is 30 grams. The research study I was talking about before showed that you have to use minimum 30 grams of ground flax seeds each and every day so that it can actually help you to lose that weight. The second seed I want you to talk about over here is fenugreek seeds. Most people are not even aware of this fenugreek seeds, but they were actually traditionally used in Ayurvedic medicine. But now modern medicine is also catching up and realizing its importance. Research again shows that fenugreek seeds again improves your insulin sensitivity and lowers your blood sugar levels, thereby reducing that fat storage in your body. And plus they reduces your appetite, so again you eat lesser amount of food. They work really great for stubborn belly fat, especially in females who have hormonal issues like PCOS. How do they work? They have a special compound called galactomannan, which is actually a soluble fiber that when it reaches in your stomach, it swells and also slows down your digestion, and also it improves your insulin sensitivity so you do not have that sugar spike. But here's the problem. Fenugreek seeds do not taste great. They have a very weird taste, so you have to acquire it over time. Now here's where things get interesting. When you combine the ground flax seeds with the fenugreek seed, this is where the magic happens, because now you get the fat burning, hunger suppressing, as well as hormone rebalancing powerhouse. This will help you to keep fuller longer. It will reduce inflammation in your body as well as improve fat metabolism. Plus it also reduces carb and sugar cravings. It also reduces insulin spikes in your body, and then helps your body not to store fat and actually get your body into the fat burning mode. So together they attack that stubborn belly fat by different angles in your body. How to use this combo effectively? Let me share with you how to do that. So the best time to consume your flax seeds is in the morning. So you use 1 tablespoon of ground flax seed. You can add them to your smoothies. You can just add them to water and drink it, or you can add it to your oatmeals or any other food that you are consuming. Now this gives a kickstart to your metabolism in the morning and get your body into the fat burning mode. Now most people are focusing for fat burning mode only in the morning, but what about the evenings and the night time? This is where fenugreek seed can be amazing. You use 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seed in the evenings, but how do you use them? You actually have to soak the fenugreek seeds for a minimum 10 to 12 hours. And before dinner, you can chew these fenugreek seeds and have a sip of the water in which the fenugreek seeds are soaked. As I told to you before, fenugreek seeds have a very different taste. So if you cannot tolerate it, you can always get a supplement of fenugreek seed, which has around 500 to 1000 milligrams of fenugreek seed powder into it. Now, when you consume it before your dinners, it improves your insulin sensitivity, doesn't let your insulin spike. So that way, again, when you are sleeping, your body can easily go into the fat burning mode. So here you go, this lesser known seed combo, which burns belly fat better than chia seeds. Chia seeds are great, but if you're not getting results from chia seeds, or if you want to try this combo to attack the belly fat from all different angles, I would suggest you trying to use this to see how that works for you. I hope I have provided you another tool in your toolbox to help you to lose weight in a more healthier and sustainable way. Please give it a try and tell me after a few weeks what differences and improvements you have seen in your body and in your body structure. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to my channel, as well as share this video with others who can benefit from this great information. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. A few years ago, I was in constant pain. My stomach ached every day. I was exhausted and I couldn't think straight, and I felt like I was losing myself. And I was a doctor myself. I had the degree, I had the title, but I couldn't fix my problems. Every day I woke up feeling exhausted. I had gut pain, brain fog, and fatigue, which was so crushing that I couldn't function at all. And when I asked for help from other medical specialists, they said your labs are normal and we can't help you. That was a big shocker for me because the system I was part of failed me. But that was also a wake-up call for me. Nearly after losing myself about inflammation, about healing and food, completely changed my life. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, my powerful anti-inflammatory routine of what I eat every day that changed my life completely. Hi, I'm Dr. Anshul Gupta, a former Cleveland Clinic functional medicine physician. I help people with chronic diseases in healing their body in natural ways. After completing my family medicine residency, I was working in my dream job, helping others. But I couldn't help myself. Acid reflux burned my chest, and the fatigue was dragging me down, and the pain was really unbearable. I was gaining weight, I developed fatty liver issues, and plus one day eczema also showed up on my body. I went to multiple doctors and got multiple different tests, but everything came back normal. I was suffering each and every day. And unfortunately, nobody had any answers. They kept on adding more and more pills to my regimen. And at one time, they also told me that it was all in my head. But I knew something else has been going on in my body. And I dove into research. I discovered functional medicine and learned how inflammation was damaging my body. I made some changes in my lifestyle, my diet, my stress management, exercising, and within weeks I felt alive again. I lost 40 pounds, my energy soared, my mind cleared, and even my skin healed. And I was able to reverse my fatty liver also. And so I wanted to share with you, if I can do it, you can also do it. During this time, food became my medicine, and today I'm so excited to share with you my daily routine that helped me to kill inflammation in my body completely. And these were simple recipe, and by consistently following these things in my daily routine, my inflammation went away completely. So let's get started and let me share with you my anti-inflammatory routine with you. The first thing that I do as soon as I wake up is have this anti-inflammatory tea. This tea has simple ingredients, but over the course of time, this made a very huge change for me. How do you make this anti-inflammatory tea? For this, you need 1 cup of warm water, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of grated fresh ginger, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and you need half a teaspoon of either extra virgin olive oil or extra virgin coconut oil, and then a pinch of black pepper. And basically you just warm up 1 cup of water and add all of the above ingredient into this warm water. Do not boil the ingredients, just warm water is the key over here. Let it steep for 5 to 6 minutes, you strain it and then you drink it. If this is too strong for you, you can always add some honey, but I prefer taking it without honey. Now Now, what is special about this tea? Turmeric and ginger are very powerful anti-inflammatory herbs. They block the NF-kappa B pathway, thereby reducing inflammation in your body instantly. The lemon juice and the coconut oil or the olive oil acts as a detox agents to cleanse all the toxins from your liver, thereby reducing toxins and inflammation in your body. So this is not a simple drink, and it was a really big game changer for me because it started my day on the right track. After drinking this tea, I will do a 10 to 15 minute workout, which can be either a cardio exercise of elliptical or a treadmill, or sometimes weight training with my own body weights. Then comes the time for breakfast. It took me a long time to understand breakfast was the most important meal of my day, and I need to prioritize my breakfast to make it anti-inflammatory so that my body can heal completely. So for that, I created my own anti-inflammatory smoothie, which actually took me a couple of months to master it. So here's the recipe. So for this, you need 1 scoop of protein powder. Either you can use vegan protein powder made from pea protein or chia seed protein, or you can do collagen protein powder. Do not use whey protein powder because that is not good in the morning to use. After that, I will use 2 tablespoons of soaked chia seeds overnight into it, 5 overnight soaked almonds into it, half an inch of ginger into it, 1 handful of spinach leaves into it, and sometimes I will add a fruit which can either be half a cup of blueberries, strawberries, or half an apple. And then I will just add water and ice and I will blend this smoothie. And this would be my breakfast. Now, smoothies are a breakfast trend, but this is not a trend. This is actually your mitochondrial fuel. It gives you the right amount of protein, good fats, good fiber, lot of antioxidants and minerals which is needed by your body and your mitochondria to start fueling your body properly. So I will recommend to you using this smoothie as your breakfast as many days as possible, because this is going to help rejuvenate your body in the morning. And then comes the time for lunch. In case I do get hungry between my breakfast and lunch, so typically my snacks are nuts and seeds. Especially I love pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. I roast them myself and add a little bit of sea salt to a pinch of black pepper. And this snack again fuels my body without raising my blood sugar or inflammation in my body. Now let's talk about lunch. So typically for my lunch, I will start with a salad. So in that salad, I will put some greens, whether it is lettuce, spinach, or any other leaves into it. Then it has cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados into it. So I start with this salad, and then after that comes my protein. My protein choices are either lentils or chickpeas during this time, as I'm a vegan. But if you do eat animal proteins, then roasted chicken or fish would be a good option along with your lunch also. So 1 cup of lentil soup or 1 cup of chickpeas is what I will have. Then after my protein comes my grains. My grain choices are either half a cup of brown rice or half a cup of quinoa. And on top of my brown rice and quinoa, I add my good fat, which can be a 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil or 1 teaspoon of A2 Indian ghee. So that's my lunch, which is power packed with a lot of varieties of vegetables, good quality protein, good quality fats, as well as dense carbohydrates. Again, all of these things help to reduce inflammation in my gut as well as in my body. Then comes the time for the dinner time. In dinner time, I try to avoid grains as much as possible, and I try to have an early dinner between 6 to 7 p.m. So that way I have an intermittent fasting window of around 12 to 14 hours in my day. For typical dinners, again, I will start with a salad, or if I'm not in a mood of salad, then I will just saute some vegetables like broccolis and onions and garlics and some greens with it, and then drizzle some olive oil and eat those sauteed vegetables. So both with lunch and dinner, I start them with eating vegetables, and that's something that you should also be doing. Start with your vegetables and eat your carbohydrates in the end. So start with my vegetables, which can be either a salad or a sauteed vegetables. Then go to my protein, which either is a variation of lentil soup, or sometimes I cook beans and eat them also. I will try to use turmeric and ginger with my dinner because that improves my digestion and also sends signal to my body to start reducing inflammation in the night when I'm sleeping. With my protein, which can be either a lentil soup or beans, then I will add good fats, which can be half avocado, or it can be nut butters like almond butters or sunflower seed butter. And then sometimes if I'm really hungry, I will have a side cup of coconut milk, where sometimes I will add some stevia or some cardamom into it to add some flavor to it. So that's my dinner. I will not eat anything after my dinner. And then comes the bedtime. My bedtime ritual is that I will turn off all the screen time 1 hour before my bedtime. I will typically read a book, and I make sure that I do a 10 to 15 minutes of meditation before I sleep, because that helps me in going into a deep sleep phase and also gives signal to my body to start producing the right hormones, which is melatonin, to improve my sleep quality and decrease my cortisol levels. So this is it, a very simple routine with easy recipes which anybody can follow, which has helped in reducing my inflammation. The key over here is consistency. Most people will do this routine for a day or two and then leave it. What I learned was that consistency is the key. If you keep doing it day after day, weeks after that, you will see amazing results. Typically, it took me 2 weeks to start seeing a change in my body. The first difference I saw was that I felt my gut was working better. My bloating was less, my gas was less, as well as my bowel movements were better. Around the 3 weeks time is where I started noticing that my energy was better, as well as my mood was consistently better too. My stress levels were low, as well as my anxiety was also low. And by the 4-week time, I have already lost 8 pounds when I was following this routine. So this worked for me really good. And since that time, I've shared this routine with several of my patients who saw similar results. And today I shared this with you also, so you can implement it in your life and see amazing results of reducing inflammation and getting your life back. At that time, I did not had good quality supplements to support my journey, but you have this opportunity of getting good quality supplements to support your initial journey, where InflammaPro is a great supplement which I have created, which have all the right herbs to reduce inflammation in your body. If you want to buy it, the link will be in the description. Please try this routine and share in the comment section what difference you felt in your body. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to my channel, as well as share this video with others who can benefit from this great information. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Everyone is obsessed with using turmeric to reduce their inflammation levels. And yes, turmeric is one of the most researched natural compound for inflammation purposes. But research also shows that turmeric alone doesn't work for most of the people, and it requires this one ingredient to make it 10 times powerful to stop inflammation in your body. And I am not talking about adding black pepper to your turmeric, because that is very old information. But I am talking about something very new and unique based on this latest research. Hi, I'm Dr. Anshul Gupta, a former Cleveland Clinic functional medicine physician in US. I help people reverse their chronic conditions by making personalized functional medicine plans. Now, you have been drinking turmeric water or taking turmeric supplements or even adding turmeric to your food. But here's the thing. Research shows that you are only getting 30% of the actual benefit of turmeric when you're taking it alone. The reason being, turmeric is poorly absorbed from your gut. Plus, it is very poorly bioavailable in your body. So that's the reason it alone doesn't work. And it needs to be combined with other bioactive compounds for it to actually work to reduce inflammation in your body. A study published in journal Phytotherapy Research showed that the curcumin absorption and its bioavailability was increased when it was combined with bioactive compounds like antioxidants and anthocyanins. Now, most people know one of the active compound called black pepper because it has piperine, which increases absorption. But this new ingredient I am talking about is a game changer, because the new research shows it can even lower inflammation levels in the pre-cancerous cells in people's body. So what is the secret ingredient I am talking about? It is actually tart cherry juice. Not regular cherry juice, but tart cherry juice. And when you combine this tart cherry juice with turmeric, something incredible happens in your body. It becomes an inflammation killer machine for your body. Athletes are using this combo to recover faster from their workouts, People with joint pains are reporting less stiffness. People feel less bloating and less puffiness in their body. Plus, this combo also improves people's sleep and reduces inflammation in the brain, so your brain can function better. One study showed that people drinking tart cherry juice has 23% less muscle soreness after exercising. So just imagine combining this tart cherry juice with turmeric is going to give you incredible results. So here's the reason why this combination is so powerful. The reason being, turmeric has an active compound called curcumin. Curcumin helps your body in reducing inflammation by blocking a pathway which is called NF-kappa B. But there is another inflammation pathway in your body which is the COX pathway, which is still open, and this COX pathway can still cause inflammation in your body. Now interestingly, this COX pathway is blocked by the medicines called NSAIDs like ibuprofen. And tart cherry juice has something called anthocyanins, which research also shows that it blocks this COX pathway too. So when you combine the curcumin, which blocks the NF-kappa B, and anthocyanins from tart cherry juice, which blocks the COX pathway, you get a complete combo which stops inflammation completely in your body. A study published in 2021 showed that when a combo of curcumin and anthocyanin was combined, and this combination was used in precancerous adenomatous polyps in the colon area, it was able to reduce inflammation markers significantly in those people. So this study changes everything, because now you know this combination is so powerful in reducing inflammation at multiple places and multiple levels in your body. Now let me share with you the exact recipe of how to make this combo and when is the best time to consume it. For this you will need 1 cup of tart cherry juice. Make sure there is no sugar added to it. You will need 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder and then a pinch of black pepper. And then basically you mix your turmeric powder into your tart cherry juice and add a pinch of black pepper and combine it all together and mix it really well. What is the best time to consume it? The best time to consume it is 30 minutes before bedtime, because tart cherry juice increases your melatonin levels and will help you to go into the deeper phases of your sleep. But you can also use it as a post-workout drink to help you to recover faster, or you can use it in the morning to kickstart your day properly also. So now you know the right way of using turmeric is combining it with this tart cherry juice, because that is going to make it an inflammation killing machine in your body and going to help your body reduce inflammation very quickly. Now, as you know, I have also created a very special inflammation reducing supplement called InflammaPro. The link will be in the description if you want to buy to help reducing inflammation in your body. So try this combo today itself. Give yourself 1 week and you will start noticing that your inflammation symptoms of bloating, puffiness, joint stiffness, and also improvement in your sleep. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to my channel so you keep on getting this great information in the future also. Plus, share this video with others who might benefit from it. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Welcome. I want to show you how you can improve your vision at home by just using a pen. Now, you may be thinking, how can you improve my vision with a pen? Well, inside your eyes, you have several muscles that moves your eyes in all different positions. On the inside of your eye, you have a lens. And you have ciliary muscles that contract and increase the curvature of that lens to make it thicker. And the increased curvature of that lens allows the eye to focus on an object that is close up. But when the person has to look far away, those muscles relax and the focus of the lens changes to an object further away. And when we look at our smartphone or our computer, or even things far away, these muscles, these ciliary muscles, continue to contract and relax, making the lens more convex and flatter so we can accommodate. And this will help your vision therapy of your eyes. You may notice that when you read, the words are not really clear or you're skipping lines when reading. And think about those times when your eyes got real tired and maybe even bloodshot. may even get fuzzy or blurry. Our eyes need that exercise just like all the other muscles in our body. And there's two parts to this pen exercise. You want to hold the pen about a foot out in front of you. And what you want to do is you want to look at that point, that tip of the pen. You just want to focus on it. And as you bring it closer to your eyes, you keep bringing it closer and keep focusing on that tip. And once you start to see two pens, then you're going to stop. Leave the pen where it's at. You're going to look away at an object for a few seconds to relax your pupils. And then you'll do the exercise all over again. You'll look at the tip, and as you come closer, as it comes closer, you are going to eventually see two pens, and then you stop, and then you'll look away. That is contracting the lens, relaxing the lens, and strengthening those muscles. And the final part is reversing the pen distance. What we'll do here is we'll take the pen and bring it as close as we can to our nose, staring at the tip of the pen. And while looking at it, we do not want to come too close. If we come too close, it will look double. Go back to where it looks single. Stare at the tip of the pen for 3 seconds. And then you're going to look off in a distance for 3 seconds. You're going to come back and look back at the pen, making sure it stays single at that same distance. Look at it for 3 seconds, and you're going to look away for 3 seconds. And you want to make sure you do both exercises every single day. And you will see within about 4 weeks or so a tremendous change in your eyes in so many different ways. Now we know how important our eyes are. So just take a few minutes of your day and you will reap the benefits of having such better healthy eyes and stronger muscles. Remember, we've always heard this: what you don't use, you lose. And yes, you have muscles in your eyes. So do your exercises, and I wish you good health. So please, share this with your friends and family. Leave your comments below, because I know there'll be many. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel.
I don't really put much time or thought into flexibility, but that is probably because about 10 years ago I built more flexibility than I ever needed in a few short months. Flexibility which I've maintained since then with almost no work. Currently I spend less than 10 minutes a week on flexibility, which slots in between my strength training to add practically no time, staying well under 40 minutes of work a week in total for fitness. But let me be clear, none of this would have been possible if I'd have just stretched. Similar to strength, it's only been through the application of a very simple but very potent training technique that I've been able to create such extreme and long-lasting results. In this video, I'm going to finally reveal the secrets behind what that method looks like and show you the technique that I've used to build flexibility so efficiently. And we'll go through an example you can follow along yourself, so you can try this right now firsthand and see just how superior this is to the way most people approach this stuff. Anyone can build a very flexible body, and with the right method build up to movements like splits, straddle L's, handstand presses. Just like with strength, it's a skill that can be acquired. And as I said, with the right process, that does not have to take long at all. So let's get into it. Why is it that so few people manage to get flexible? Well, think about how most people approach it. They'll think that they should stretch because that's something you should try and do to not get old and stiff, or to keep healthy during exercise, not get injured. And so you might stretch, it's uncomfortable, it's effort, you definitely feel it, but it doesn't really do anything. You don't actually get more flexible as a result of it. I'm sure you can relate to me on this if you ever have tried stretching before. Why does this not work? Well, your muscles are not rubber bands. Flexibility is not the act of stretching them and trying to get them longer. Flexibility, or the lack of flexibility that you currently have, is a protective mechanism. Easiest way to think about it is imagine that you were super flexible. You have the same body you have now, but you can move in all the ranges of motion you want. Imagine diving into a super deep lunge. You're playing basketball and you leap forward, and then suddenly you're in this splits position with your whole body weight coming down on your hip joint, in a position that you do not have the strength to control or pull yourself out of. What's going to happen to your hip joint? It's going to be potentially a very bad time. In that dynamic situation where you've lost control of the joint is very likely going to get damaged. The more extreme the range of motion that you move your joint in, the harder it becomes to control, because your muscles are lengthened and they become more and more disadvantaged in their ability to pull you back into your normal, comfortable range of motion. At the same time, as you go into those extreme ranges, you're also getting closer to the end of your joint's maximum range of motion. And what happens when you go past your joint's maximum range of motion is you start to damage the joint. The connective tissue and the bones forming the joint itself start to be at risk of damage. And if there's one thing your body does not want, it's a ruptured hip. And so what does it do to help avoid these situations? Well, you've already experienced this countless times whenever you've tried to stretch and go to your end range. What does your body do? It stops you before you get there. By your body contracting your muscles whenever you start to reach the ends of your comfortable, stable range of motion, your central nervous system is basically keeping you within those limits all the time, keeping you within ranges of motion that it knows you are strong and capable enough of moving safely within. You start to go beyond that, it says nah, contracts the muscles that are getting stretched while it still can, rather than allowing you to get to this point where suddenly it's too late, it doesn't have the strength or the ability to save your joints, and then you're in real trouble. Your body's very smart, these mechanisms have evolved over millions of years. So it's as simple as that. Lack of flexibility is your body keeping your joints safe. Now obviously this is involuntary, you don't get to choose, it's an automatic reaction, which is why it works. So, in terms of getting more flexible, we understand that our lack of flexibility is serving a function, a very useful one. If you didn't have it, as we said, you would get in a lot of trouble. So if we want to increase our flexibility, we need to do it with respect to the function that it is serving, which means, and this should be somewhat obvious now, and if you followed me for a while, you are not going to be surprised what the answer to this question is. It's strength. Specifically, in this case of flexibility, it's strength in the end ranges of motion, i.e. we want to increase the range in which our body is stable and comfortable handling movement, knowing it can pull itself back to a neutral position safely. As you increase that, you increase the range of motion that you have accessible to you. And this is real range that's available at a drop of the hat all the time. It's now your functional range. And you build enough of that strength, eventually you have the range of motion to do the movements you want to do, and voila, now you're doing splits like they're nothing. And this is why building real flexibility lasts. Sure, it may take months to build, but because of the nature of strength, once you've built it, it doesn't go away quickly. It's accessible whenever you want it without a warm-up, and you can neglect it like I have for a long, long time, and it is very slow to diminish, and anything you do lose over time is very quick to gain back. The other good news with this is that if you are just looking for functional flexibility, I get a lot of people asking me about mobility, what can I do to make sure I don't become stiff and unflexible? And the answer is that if you are training properly, you are doing your strength training across full range of motion at maximum intensity as you should be, if you want to be making it as effective as possible, and you're doing that for all your basic planes of motion, then for daily mobility and function, you don't really need anything else. Flexibility is built into the strength work that you're doing to get bigger and stronger and leaner. But for any specific flexibility goals that you have, like the splits, we can just go and apply the exact same principles of our strength training to that and get some serious results very quickly. So rather than yabber at you as to what that would look like, I'm just going to show you. I suggest watching this video and then going back and having a go at yourself, because when you do this properly, you will see in a single session just how potent proper flexibility training is, because you'll notice gains in the range that your body allows you to move through in this session. It's that powerful. So we're going to apply this now to a pike, touching your toes. If you can't happily put your palms on the ground with locked knees, this is going to be one of the lowest hanging fruit wins for you to achieve this movement. Not only because it'll make you feel more confident, but because the amount of tension that this will release through your posterior chain and lower back is pretty unbelievable. So the principle is with this, we don't want to try and maximize range of motion, we want to maximize strength, hence intensity, somewhere at the end range of motion. You can try this with your pike. If you stand feet together, lock your knees and bend over, we're just thinking about hip joint here. So the image you can have in your mind is trying to fold your belly button onto your thighs. You're trying to close yourself like a book at the hips. To find your limit, you can just stand in this position and start to do that hinging, close your belly to your legs, and you know you're reaching the end of your comfortable range of motion when your body starts contracting. So you're gonna notice your calves and or your hamstrings start to tense up involuntarily when you get to a certain point. That's great. What most people do is subconsciously try and avoid this. They get this sensation and back off because it's uncomfortable, it's painful. We want to do the opposite. We want to lean into this because that contraction is our body's natural reaction to getting to the end of its range that it's comfortable in. We want to now get stronger there, which means tensing those muscles as hard as we possibly can so that we get our body to then go and build strength, get stronger in that position so that next time we come back, our body allows us to go a little bit further because it's a little bit more confident. It's as simple as that. So as you start to bend at the hip and get to that point where your muscles contract, this is now where we want to start actively contracting. And what we want to think of this as is literally just max intensity strength training from here to as far as we can comfortably go deeper into it. So the way I used to achieve this, the classic movement that's used for this, and it's brilliant, is the Jefferson curl. You can use a 20 kilo barbell or a weight vest and pull yourself into it. I have realized for both enjoyment and convenience that you don't really need the weight. What you can do instead is just pull yourself with your upper body. So I like to hook my hands around my ankles and use a bit of my hip flexors, my core, to pull myself down. So you're using the rest of your muscles to pull yourself into it. And as you do that, you want to tense the elongated muscles along the back of your leg and try and pull yourself out of it. So you think of this in two parts. You're pulling yourself in with your hands and you're trying to pull yourself out of it as hard as you possibly can with your hamstrings, your calves, your posterior chain. That's the movement. You'll find that this is extremely intense and uncomfortable. Excellent. As soon as you've done that work for a second, you can pull yourself out of it. And that's a rep. And again, there's a few different protocols thrown around for this, but what I found to be the most effective is, rather than doing static holds, moving in and out of reps. And so what you can do is stand up and then go back down and repeat this process. If you get more range of motion, great. But again, it's not really the purpose. The purpose is getting as strong a contraction in the stretch muscles as you can, building strength. Now, over time, as this becomes easier for you, you're gonna wanna go deeper to encourage yourself to tense harder. That's how this will work. So don't think too much about range of motion. Think about intensity. Range of motion will come as a natural byproduct of you building strength towards that end range. And you can basically just repeat these reps until you start to feel diminishing returns. I will give you a number as an arbitrary goal of 10 reps because I've found that to work well. But again, I think the best indicator of efficacy, diminishing returns, is to go until you start to feel like there's not a huge purpose to it left. And that's it for the session. Do one set, go until you've had enough, done. Just like with strength training. And what I'd encourage you to do, hopefully you haven't started this trial yet, is test your flexibility before and after. Do a standing toe touch measurement, see how far down you get along your leg, or if you're touching the ground, see what part of your upper body you can get touching the ground. And then at the end of the set, do it again and see how much you gain. You should feel more limber and able to go further. Protocol for this: do your set of 10 reps 1 to 2 times per week. If you can do that consistently and really go hard when you do it, you're gonna make progress. The most important thing, like with anything where you're trying to achieve a goal, choose a routine that you know that you can comfortably stick with. It seems unreasonable not to get done consistently. The great thing about these mobility movements is you don't need any equipment. You don't need to get set up for it. You can literally bang it out in a minute in a hotel room. So it's a nice tool to have in your kit. So that's basically it. Flexibility is not rocket science, but I think it's important to know that if you want to build it, there is a process, and much like with the rest of your strength training and nutrition, you need to be intentional about the result that you're trying to get if you want it, because none of this will be something that you do just voluntarily without the intent of the goal behind it, because it's not comfortable. It can be quick and easy just like with the rest of your strength training, but it is intense. You know that something's going on. It actually takes a lot of effort despite what you might think of stretching as normally. So hopefully this is useful. I know this is some different training content to what we talk about a lot in here. So if you've got questions, please let me know and I'll try to address them in future videos. If you want to see the full lower body flexibility routine that I've been doing, let me know as well. I'm happy to make a video on that if it's useful. Otherwise, get implementing this. Let me know how you go with it. I'll speak soon.
These are the 8 oldest build brutal strength today. If you think that to change your body and gain strength, you need a gym full of the most sophisticated equipment, the best personal trainers, and expensive supplements, it's time to rethink all of this. Our ancestors were already endurance monsters and used only their body weight and what nature could offer. And the best part? Despite many thinking it's crazy, they still work today and are better than many modern workouts out there. Spartan warriors, Roman gladiators, and Nordic Vikings, they all built intimidating physiques without a single high-tech piece of equipment. Today you will see 8 ancient exercises that build raw and functional strength to this day, proving that your body is the most efficient machine ever created. Stay attentive until the end because exercise number 4 is the best of them. I guarantee you will like it if you try it. Exercise number 8, box jump. Our ancestors needed to jump over obstacles, rivers, and rough terrain with strength and precision. The box jump is the perfect exercise to develop that explosive leg capacity that every natural predator possesses. Imagine primitive hunters jumping over rocks at high speed to reach their prey. This ability was literally the difference between eating or starving. Position yourself in front of a stable platform. It can be a sturdy bench, a plyometric box, or even a large step. Slightly bend your knees, swing your arms back, and jump with full force, landing with both feet completely on the platform. Step down with control and repeat. Start with a comfortable height and do 3 sets of 8 jumps. This exercise will develop incredible power in your quadriceps, glutes, and calves, while drastically improving your coordination and cardiovascular capacity. The box jump activates what we call fast-twitch muscle fibers, the same ones that allow us to generate explosive force in emergency situations. Unlike modern machines that isolate muscles, the box jump integrates your entire central nervous system with your muscles, creating neuromotor patterns that your body instinctively recognizes. A common mistake is landing with extended knees, which can cause excessive impact on the joints. Always land with your knees slightly bent to absorb the impact. Another frequent mistake is jumping onto heights that are too great at the beginning. Start low and increase gradually. Remember that perfect technique is more important than height. In just a few weeks, you will notice an impressive difference in your ability to generate force, not just in jumps, but in any movement that requires leg explosion. Exercise 7. Bear Hug Walk. Do you find it impressive to see those strong guys carrying enormous stones in competitions? Well, our ancestors did this daily to build shelters and tools. The bear hug walk is the perfect exercise to reclaim that raw strength. Grab a heavy and bulky object. It can be a sandbag, a water barrel, or even a large medicine ball, and hug it against your chest. Maintain an upright posture, core contracted, and walk for 30 to 60 seconds, feeling every muscle in your body fighting to stabilize the load. This exercise tremendously strengthens your core, arms, chest, and legs in a way that no gym machine can replicate. It's functional strength in its purest form. Ancient peoples didn't have the luxury of separating leg day and chest day. They needed a completely integrated body where each muscle worked in harmony with the others. The bear hug walk perfectly simulates this type of ancestral effort. When you hug a heavy load against your chest, your entire body enters survival mode. Your core automatically contracts to protect your spine. Your arms and shoulders work isometrically to hold the weight, while your legs need to generate force and stability to move it. One of the greatest benefits of this exercise is the development of what we call hug strength, something that gym machines simply cannot replicate. This strength is crucial not only for everyday activities such as carrying groceries or children, but also for any contact sport or emergency situation. When performing the bear hug walk, make sure to breathe deeply and keep your abdomen contracted throughout the movement. A common mistake is to curve your back. Always maintain a neutral spine and shoulders back. Start with a load that you can carry for 30 seconds and gradually increase. In 1 month, you will feel a hug strength and core stability worthy of ancient monument builders. Exercise 6. Australian pull-ups. Australian pull-ups are an exercise that reconnects us with our ancestors who needed to climb constantly to survive, whether to gather fruits, escape predators, or simply move around rough terrain. Imagine the first humans needing to pull their own body weight to climb trees or cliffs. This exercise recreates that fundamental pulling movement that is engraved in our DNA and is exceptional for strengthening the entire posterior chain of the body, especially the back, biceps, and core. It develops that pulling strength that is becoming increasingly rare in the modern world, where we spend most of our time pushing things. Australian pull-ups balance this disparity, strengthening muscles that are often neglected and preventing common postural problems. To perform Australian pull-ups, you need a horizontal bar. Position yourself under the bar, holding it with your hands and keeping your body in a straight line, heels supported on the ground. The more horizontal your body is in relation to the ground, the more intense the exercise will be. Pull your chest toward the bar, keeping your elbows close to your body and contracting your shoulder blades. Lower with control and repeat. A common mistake is letting your hips drop during the movement, which significantly reduces the effectiveness of the exercise and can overload your lower back. Always keep your body in a straight line from heel to head. Another frequent mistake is not completing the movement fully. Make sure to touch your chest to the bar, or at least get as close as possible and fully extend your arms on the way down. Start with 3 sets of 8 repetitions and increase gradually. If it's too easy, raise your feet or use a more horizontal position. If it's too difficult, stay more vertical. This exercise is even the perfect bridge to develop the necessary strength for complete pull-ups. another ancestral movement of raw strength. Exercise 5. Farmer's walk evokes the image of the countryman carrying heavy buckets from one place to another during long workdays. This exercise, brutal in its simplicity, consists of picking up heavy weights with both hands and simply walking. Our ancestors did this daily. They transported water, food, construction materials, all using just the raw strength of their bodies. The exercise perfectly simulates these daily activities that shape the functional bodies of workers throughout history. To execute the farmer's walk, hold a heavy weight in each hand. They can be kettlebells, dumbbells, buckets with water, or stones. Keep your shoulders back, chest up, core contracted, and walk in a straight line for a determined distance or time. It seems simple, but I guarantee that after 30 seconds, you will understand why this is one of the most respected exercises among strength athletes. The beauty of this movement lies in the number of muscles recruited simultaneously. Your forearms work intensely to hold the weights, your shoulders and trapezius stabilize the load. Your core works continuously to maintain your posture, while your legs and glutes generate the propulsive force. Additionally, your cardiovascular system is pushed to the limit, creating an impressive metabolic effect that continues burning calories even after your workout. The most common mistakes include curving your shoulders forward, holding your breath, and taking steps that are too long. Start with weights that allow you to walk for at least 30 seconds without needing to let go. As you get stronger, gradually increase the weight or distance. The impact of this exercise on your grip strength is incomparable, and it's worth remembering that grip strength is considered one of the most reliable indicators of overall strength and even longevity. It's no wonder that countrymen have always had those crushing handshakes. Before we continue to number 4, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will make you progress with health in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Exercise 4, dead hangs. Sometimes the simplest exercises are the most effective. The dead hang, literally hanging from a bar without performing any active movement, is a practice that our ancestors did naturally when hanging from tree branches to gather fruits or move through forests. This seemingly passive exercise hides one of the most powerful trainings to develop raw strength in the arms, shoulders, and especially grip. Just like the farmer's walk, this exercise extraordinarily strengthens your forearms, dramatically improving your grip strength. But its main benefit is undoubtedly the way it decompresses your spine, relieving accumulated tension, and strengthening the entire chain of muscles that make up your natural suspension system: trapezius, rhomboids, latissimus dorsi, and posterior deltoid. The effect of this exercise on your functional strength is also impressive. In ancient cultures, the ability to hang and move while suspended was a fundamental survival skill. Think of ninja warriors, who developed superhuman grip strength through similar exercises, allowing them to climb walls and remain suspended for long periods without being detected. You may not need to escape from samurai nowadays, but the functional strength developed by dead hangs will bring benefits to practically all physical activities you perform. To perform the dead hang correctly, find a sturdy horizontal bar and hold it with your hands at shoulder width, using an overhand grip. Lift your feet off the ground and simply hang, keeping your shoulders relaxed and your core slightly contracted. Breathe normally and hold for as long as possible. Sounds easy, right? But try to maintain it for 60 seconds and you'll see it's not as simple as it seems. A frequent mistake is holding your breath during the exercise. Maintain deep and constant breathing. Start by trying to hold for 20 to 30 seconds and increase gradually. If you can easily pass 60 seconds, try more challenging variations, such as one-handed dead hangs. Exercise 3. Burpees. If there is an exercise that simulates the intensity of the survival struggle that our ancestors faced, this exercise is the burpee. Imagine a hunter-gatherer needing to quickly duck to avoid a predator, fall to the ground to hide, and then jump to escape or attack. That's exactly the movement pattern that the burpee replicates. This brutal exercise, invented by American physiologist Royal H. Burpee in the 30s, was originally used to evaluate the physical conditioning of military recruits, and to this day remains one of the most complete tests of general physical fitness. The burpee is unique because it combines strength training with intense cardiovascular conditioning. Few exercises can raise your heart rate as quickly as a series of well-executed burpees. This creates a powerful metabolic effect that continues burning calories even hours after your workout, similar to what our ancestors experienced during long hunts or escapes from danger. To execute a burpee, start standing. Squat down, placing your hands on the floor. Kick your feet back, assuming the plank position. Do a push-up. Jump back to the squatting position. And finally jump explosively with your arms extended above your head. Each repetition is a brutal test of strength, endurance, coordination, and mental will. The exercise literally works all the main muscle groups of the body: legs, glutes, core, chest, shoulders, and arms, all in a single fluid movement. The most common mistakes include not maintaining a straight line during the plank position, letting your hips drop, not completing the push-up fully, and not performing the final jump with maximum explosiveness. Another frequent mistake is sacrificing technique for speed. It's always better to do fewer repetitions with perfect technique than many poorly executed repetitions. Start with 3 sets of 5 complete repetitions, resting 1 to 2 minutes between sets. As your endurance improves, gradually increase to 10, 15, and eventually 20 repetitions per set. Believe me, few things transform your body as quickly as a consistent burpee routine. Exercise 2. Goblet Squat. Squatting is one of the most fundamental movements of human beings. Our ancestors spent hours in this position resting, working, and socializing. Moreover, in traditional cultures around the world, from African tribes to rural communities in Asia, the deep squat position was maintained for long periods during the day, a habit that practically eliminated modern problems such as lower back pain and hip mobility limitations. The goblet squat recovers this primitive movement pattern and adds load to create one of the most complete exercises for the lower body. The name comes from the way you hold the weight against your chest. To execute the goblet squat, hold a kettlebell or dumbbell by the upper part with both hands, keeping it close to your chest. Position your feet at shoulder width or slightly wider, with your toes slightly pointed outward. Keep your spine straight, chest up, and if your mobility allows, lower yourself in a controlled manner until your hips are below your knees. Keep your heels planted on the ground throughout the movement. Push through your heels to return to the starting position, contracting your glutes at the top of the movement. This exercise is exceptional for developing strength in the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, adductors, and core. Additionally, the goblet squat is a master at teaching proper squat mechanics, as the counterweight in front of the body naturally induces a more vertical trunk posture. This makes the exercise not only therapeutic for those with mobility issues, but also an incredible tool for developing functional strength. The most common mistakes include lifting your heels off the ground, which indicates a lack of ankle mobility, allowing your knees to collapse inward, which can cause injuries and excessively curving your back. To avoid these problems, start with a light weight and focus on perfect technique before increasing the load. Another frequent mistake is not going down enough. A complete squat, with your hips below or at least in line with your knees, activates the glutes and hamstrings much more than a partial squat. Start with 3 sets of 10 repetitions using a moderate weight. As your technique and strength improve, gradually increase the weight or repetitions. Exercise 1. Rucking. Rucking is simply walking with weight on your back, something our ancestors did constantly during migrations, hunts, and wars. Roman legionaries marched with up to 88 pounds of equipment for dozens of miles daily, building an almost supernatural endurance. This seemingly simple exercise hides one of the most complete trainings that exists. To start, you only need a sturdy backpack and some weights, which again can be books, water bottles, or sandbags. Put about 10 to 20% of your body weight in the backpack. Wear it correctly, maintain an upright posture, and start walking. Rucking transforms a simple walk into a brutal strength exercise that strengthens practically your entire body, with special focus on the legs, back, and core. By adding weight to your walk, you drastically multiply the calorie expenditure, burning almost twice as many calories as you would in a normal walk. But the real benefit is in strengthening your fundamental structure. Bones, tendons, and ligaments strengthen in a way that isolation exercises never could. To execute correctly, distribute the weight evenly in the backpack and position it so that it sits high on your back, not hanging down. Keep your shoulders back, chest open, and abdomen contracted. Take firm and controlled steps, ensuring that the weight doesn't swing excessively. The most common mistake is starting with too much weight. This will overload your joints and can cause injuries. Start light and increase gradually. Another frequent mistake is maintaining a curved posture, which can cause back pain. Always prioritize perfect technique over distance or weight. 30 minutes of rucking 3 times a week is enough to start feeling the benefits. Stronger legs, better posture, more stable core, and impressive cardiorespiratory endurance. If you liked this and also want to discover 6 isometric postures, those exercises where we just stay still in certain positions, which are capable of deeply targeting each muscle in your body, we have a video appearing right now on the screen showing each of them better. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.
Millions of people worldwide ibuprofen or other pain medications to improve their joint and body pain. But what if I told you 1 teaspoon of this natural formula can actually help you in lowering your pain and inflammation in your body without having side effects of medications? And the biggest thing, ingredients of this remedy has shown in research studies that they can improve the pain, inflammation markers as well as functioning of your body and your joints. So today I'm going to share with you this exact 1 teaspoon herbal remedy that you can make at home itself that is going to improve your joint pain, your muscle pain as well as body pains. And the best part, if you don't want to make it at home, it also comes in the capsule form. Hi, I'm Dr. Anshul Gupta, a former Cleveland Clinic functional medicine physician from US. I help people improve their chronic health conditions by making personalized functional medicine plans. There are millions of people worldwide who are suffering from body pain, joint pain, muscle pain and also fibromyalgia. They have been to several different doctors and ultimately they are told that there is no cure for their condition and they have to rely on medications like ibuprofen for lifelong basis to improve this pain. Well, what is wrong with this picture? Taking ibuprofen, is that really so bad for you? Well, research says so. People who take medicines like ibuprofen for long-term basis have higher chances of gut issues, kidney problems, liver damage issues, and in some people it can also increase their chances of cardiovascular disease. That's where I wanted to share with you this natural remedy, which clinical studies show that it can really help improve pain, inflammation, and also function of your body. And the biggest thing, it comes without all the side effects of any medication that you might have to take for your pain, inflammation. So let me first share with you the ingredients of this remedy and then I'm going to tell you exactly how to prepare it and when to consume it, because that's the most important key of this remedy to give you the maximum benefits. The first ingredient over here is boswellia. So boswellia is actually a natural resin from the boswellia tree. It has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for arthritis, ulcerative colitis as well as various inflammatory conditions. And now modern research shows that it can really be helpful in joint pain, body pain and inflammation conditions. A randomized double-blinded controlled trial on people was done which showed that boswellia extract was able to reduce significantly pain and inflammation markers like TNF-alpha as well as IL-6 in arthritis patients. And the biggest thing was that it was able to reduce this pain and inflammation within 5 days. Another 2024 study which was done on 394 patients of arthritis which were taking ibuprofen or similar medications for their joint pains were started on boswellia extract. Within few weeks of starting the boswellia extracts, their pain significantly improved, their joint function as well as their stiffness in the body reduced dramatically. But this was not it. The more dramatic thing was that more than half of those people at the end of the trial were able to stop their ibuprofen and were still pain-free while using only boswellia extract. So these clinical studies prove that boswellia works really good for pain and inflammation in your body, as boswellia is targeting the 5 LOX pathway of inflammation in your body. This particular pathway, when blocked, it reduces the leukotrienes, which are the chemical mediators of inflammation in your body, specifically in your joints as well as in your muscles. So by reducing these leukotrienes in your body, boswellia is able to reduce inflammation and pain in your joints as well as in the muscles. So that's the reason this is the first ingredient of this remedy. The second ingredient over here is quercetin. Now quercetin is a flavonoid which acts as an antioxidant and reduces inflammation in your body. Now interestingly, quercetin is the pigment which is found in the onion skins as well as apple skins. A 2023 study concluded that quercetin was successfully able to reduce the inflammation markers and symptoms in people with high levels of inflammation in their body. A randomized double-blinded controlled trial was done in 50 women with rheumatoid arthritis, and they were given quercetin for 8 weeks. And at the end of 8 weeks, these women saw a significant improvement in their pain scores, in their stiffness scores, as well as their blood inflammation markers also improved significantly. So thereby quercetin is another powerful flavonoid which is part of this remedy, which works on a different pathway of inflammation, specifically working on your joints and muscles. The third ingredient over is curcumin. Now curcumin is not a surprise over here because most people know that curcumin, which comes from turmeric, definitely helps with a lot of inflammation conditions. Specifically, it helps in joint pain, muscle pain, as well as body pains. A 2024 meta-analysis which looked at several studies of curcumin concluded that curcumin works really good in improving the joint pain, the body pain, as well as muscle pain of these people. Curcumin specifically targets the NF-kappa-B inflammatory pathways. So thereby it is working on a different pathway which improves inflammation and pain in your body. So these are the three main ingredients of this 1 teaspoon herbal remedy that you can make at home. Now let me share with you how to exactly make it and what is the right way of consuming it. So to prepare this remedy, either you need boswellia extract or boswellia powder, half a teaspoon. You need 1/4 teaspoon of quercetin powder or quercetin extract, and then you need another 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder over here. And then to improve the absorption of curcumin from turmeric, you need a little bit of black pepper and also either coconut oil or olive oil. How to prepare this remedy? Basically, you mix boswellia, quercetin and turmeric together, and then you add a pinch of black pepper, and then you add all of these things to 1 teaspoon of either virgin coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. You might have to warm the oil a little bit so all of these things can get dissolved into that oil. Now, how do you consume this? You can just take this 1 teaspoon remedy with water and you can gulp it down. It will definitely have a very strong taste. Some of my clients have added a little bit of honey to make it more palatable in this remedy, so you can do that too. Other ways to use this remedy is that when you're making your morning smoothie, you can add this to your morning smoothie so the taste is masked and you don't feel the strong taste. What is the best way of taking this remedy? You take it with food. Do not take it empty stomach because it can irritate your stomach. So I recommend either taking it with your breakfast or with your lunch. Thereby it doesn't irritate your stomach as well as starts working in the day to help reducing inflammation and pain in your body. Now for some people it might be difficult to get all of these ingredients, and that's the reason I have created this special InflammaPro supplement which have all of these ingredients which I mentioned above, which includes the boswellia, the curcumin, the quercetin, and plus it also has other anti-inflammatory compounds into it. Plus it is formulated with the right dosage to improve the body pain, inflammation and muscle pain in your body. If you want to buy it, the link will be in the description. So here you go. Today I told you this 1 teaspoon herbal remedy that can help improve your joint pain, your muscle pain and body pain without the side effects of taking medications. When you combine this herbal remedy with an anti-inflammatory diet, this works even better. So try to work on an anti-inflammatory diet and take this herbal remedy. You might not see the difference on very first day, but if you use this remedy for 1 to 2 weeks, you should see some improvement in the pain and inflammation levels in your body. So give this a try and let me know how this is working for you. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with others who might benefit from this great information. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
And we are live. Welcome, folks, to episode 3725 of the Survival Podcast. We're kind of wrapping up
This is the end. Beautiful friend, the end. This is the end. My only friend, the end. All glory never plans, the end. All everything that stands, the end. No safety or surprise, the end. I'll never look into your eyes again. Can you picture what will be? So limitless and free, desperately in need of some stranger's hand. And I'm desperately lost in a Roman wilderness of pain. And all the children are insane. All the children are insane. Waiting for the summer rain, yeah. There's danger on the edge of town. Ride the king highway, baby. We're sitting inside a coal mine. Ride the highway west, baby. Ride the snake. Ride the snake until the lake, the ancient lake, baby. The snake is long, 7 miles. Ride the snake. He's old and his skin is cold. The West is the best. The West is the best. Get here, and we'll do the rest. The blue boys is calling us. The blue boys is calling us. Driver, where you taking us? The killer walked before dawn. He put his boots on. He took a face from the ancient gallery, and then he walked down the hall. Went to the room where his sister lived, and then he paid a visit to his brother. And then he walked down the hall and came to the door, and he looked inside. Father, beautiful friend, the end. This is the end. My only friend, the end. Order to set you free, but you'll never follow me. The end of laughter and soft lies. The end of nights we try to talk.